On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, new JP event, new servants. Also, countdown to anniversary. It's very soon. It's about a week away, so there's a lot of excitement over that. But most importantly, welcome to the most beach-brained episode of Let's Talk FGO ever, because it's also the Dawntrail Early Access period right now. So I hope you are going to enjoy that. I am one of your hosts, Omega. With me, as always, is Lucky, and we are your obscure website mascots for today.
Oh, it's so true. I hope everyone is enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka reaching deep into the character hole. And while we here at Studio Omega like to bring you the latest FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events with the JP and EA version of the game. So anyone not wanting to spoil it should look out for new works from developer Sort Moon, makers of such work as Destiny, Halted Twilight.
That one we're probably going to have to explain the joke right off the bat.
Well, yeah, but I think it was hilarious.
No, it's great. I love the joke.
No, but to explain that one a little bit, Tsukihime, the remake, Part 1 has come out in North America to much fanfare and very good reviews. Yes. But it came notice out that one outlet had basically used an AI to copy someone else's review, and then basically just had them change up the synonyms so they can, quote unquote differentiate. The only problem was it changed the synonyms in the wrong place. So such places as like Type Moon were changed to Sort Moon, and like a piece of blue glass was changed to a chunk of blue glass, and other such things. So many of us in the Discord were having keks of just making alternate names for things, and I am very proud to say that I came up with Destiny Halted Twilight as a synonym for Fate Stay Night. And people are all like, no, and a lot of people in our Discord was actually, that sounds pretty fucking rad. I'm like, yeah, it does.
Yep. Yeah, and this is why, number one, you shouldn't use AI to plagiarize. Number two, if you do use AI to plagiarize, or plagiarize period, don't be dumb. Proofread your work, idiot. Moron. It's bad enough as is. But yes, that is our intro. We will be talking about these things and more in a moment. But first, real quick, I'd like to remind everybody this episode is brought to you by our patrons, like Adam DeHart, Black Snow G, Call Me Zed, Carlos Dragon, Flightless Icebird, Jeremy Vasquez, JDV9000, Just for the Fake, Starlight, Legendary Boss Hunter, Liam, Castle, Rise of Kenji, Rogue Robin, Trevor, some guy named Bob, and Varian the Crow. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. Get access to episodes early and have some other goodies.
Ooh.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
But yes, it's Let's Talk FGO, and we're going to move down the list, and hopefully things aren't going to be too chaotic. They're going to be a little chaotic.
Yeah.
I did switch up what I was doing. I was originally queued 30 minutes deep. I'll explain why that is if you don't get it later for Tower of Babel, but I figured that I don't remember those dungeons well enough to autopilot them while recording the show, so I'll just play Crystalline Conflict instead for a couple hours.
I mean, the new PvP series is here, and you can get a bomb umbrella and a motherfucking oppressor.
Yes, an oppressor mount is the 25. Also, let me fact check myself what the name is, but the level 15 in the PvP series reward is a minion.
Squeak the Coyote.
Yes, Squeak the Coyote, and I'm like, that. I'm all about that. Give me Squeak the Coyote. So yeah, might as well get a jump start on that. Won't be as good EXP, but we'll get something, and I can actually finish the queues, probably.
Probably.
But that means it's time to check in with everybody's favorite Kohai, Mash.
Senpai, 起きてください.
Other than reminding you to stay hydrated and topped up on your favorite brand of gamer fuel for this weekend, the only pro tip I've got that's new is that they did pre-announce what July's exchange items will be in FGO English. So keep your eyes peeled for big bells, feathers, or bullets.
Bullet.
So that's the soundless bells, the big bells, phoenix feathers, and technically they're the gunpowder inside the bullets, but it's the casing, so it's bullets.
Also, the gamer feel reference is the fact that Mountain Dew is having a collab with Final Fantasy XIV. So drink Mountain Dew or pour it down the drain, as I've heard several people doing. And the more I drink of this shit, the more I realize they are probably right.
Yeah, Mountain Dew's not something I would. I've never been one of those people who gets like the fucking big gulp cup of Dew and just sucks it down. I can't do that.
No, I can't do that. I can do that with like Coke and like orange soda and stuff, but like. I've been drinking Mountain Dew, and I'm just all like, man, I'm on my fourth one, and this is a trial. Mm-hmm. But no, I need to drink 6 of these so I can get enough codes so I can get the Mountain Zoo. which is hilarious. But yeah, so that's gonna be coming up. That's gonna we're gonna be very 14 pilled today. Like,
yes.
just.
I mean, I've literally got it open on my PS5 right now. I'm in what I normally call streamer position, where my chair is rotated. But luckily, I can still read show notes.
Yes.
And some of our early show notes are pretty simple. Once again, no records, no evils this week. We're just chilling.
Like I said, I am, like, protecting smiles and stuff, but again, I am doing no brain farming, and again, I do not remember. I think I protected 2 more smiles over the course of the week, and did some interludes. Also, guys, like, I do want to mention this, like, this is just kind of a little side note. Early interludes kind of suck in some degrees. I just did, like, 3 of Mysterious Heroine X's interludes, like, back to back to back. Each of them 2 fights. Either of them scenes are just X going, I'm gonna fight this motherfucker! And then proceeding to fight that motherfucker. That's it.
Yeah.
And at the end, it was all a dream. I'm just all like, oh my god. This was 3 interludes worth of content?
I mean, some of that was some of those were buffs, but yes, no. Lots of first couple years of content, just like everything else, are not great. Let's go to enhance. I got some members and stuff. Let's make sure we're leveling a few.
Yeah, no, like, honestly, I'm becoming more and more of a fan of the zero sodas. I don't know, maybe it's because it's like they have a more mild taste and whatnot, but no, like, I have a Mountain Dew Voltage in my hand right now. Motherfucking 290 calories by its fucking self. 76 carbs! Jesus fucking Christ! I'm just looking at the fucking nutritional value on what the fuck? Including 70% energy, 150, what the actual? 105 milligrams of sodium? Oh my god!
And this is why you should always read the label, chat.
You really should read the labels. Jesus! How can you have 76 grams of fucking carbs in a fucking... What is this? 20 ounce? Oh man, I am never drinking one of these again. I'll stick to the zero sugars. Those have 0 sugar and 0 calories. They probably have some weird ass fucking acids in them, but Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, no one ever said Mountain Dew was healthy, but there's a difference between, melting your fucking teeth and, you know, a respectable drink.
And somehow I'm pretty sure that, like, the Dew isn't the most unhealthy thing you could be doing. Though also make sure to if you're drinking a lot of Mountain Dew for the 14 collab, make sure to cut your Mountain Dew. Water it down with water.
I might do that.
Or vodka.
I might do that! I got vodka.
The alcohol will kill the sodium. No, it won't. That's not actually how that works. But it'll do something.
Jesus. I got fucking 2 more of these in the fridge.
But yes, we're going to be very 14 pilled because we're going to be doing shit.
Contains 0% juice. No shit, Sherlock!
Yeah, there's no real... I don't think there's... Is there anything real in Mountain Dew? Oh, great. There's sorry, I just... my queue just popped. The other team has a Hrothgal Viper named Taz Cheeseburger. She is giving a thumbs up in her portrait. I'm
looking at the ingredients here. Let me read out. Here, you want some Lucky AMSR? Let me get up here and I'll read you the ingredients on the fucking Mountain Dew Voltage. But let me just get up on here. So the ingredients of a Mountain Dew includes carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, natural flavors, citric acid, sodium benzoate, preservatives freshness, caffeine, sodium citrate, gum arabic, calcium disodium iota to protect flavor, Panax ginseng root extract, blue 1, red 40.
Oh shit. Red 40 is not good for you.
Yeah. Shit, I think I am gonna have to actually pour this down the drain. I hate it. I hate wasting stuff, even if it's bad for you. You know, that's me being homeless for a few years. I hate wasting food and drink.
Yeah. No.
But this is genuinely bad for me.
Yes.
So, Aaron talking how they prefer banana bread ASMR.
No, I'm sure the banana bread ASMR. I mean, you know, they've got citric acid in there as like ingredient number 2, so that's good. But ingredient number 3 was preservatives, I think, and then the 4th was caffeine. Oh shit, there's a guy behind me.
I don't know. There's stuff happening here in this Mountain Dew. I can't anymore. I'll go back to drink, like, Mountain Dew Zero, fine. Mountain Dew Normal, this is gonna rot my insides.
Yeah.
How did I drink so much of this as a kid?
Don't know.
I'm sorry I'm, like, so derailed, but I have just been floored.
You know, it's great. It does remind me of a conversation I heard on Distractable, which is Markiplier and his friend's podcast. He was talking about something about one of the vitamins, like I think B12. It's in a lot of energy drinks, but apparently it's one of the things your body craves if you have ADHD. Like it's one of the things that helps you focus. And just like talked about how when he was undiagnosed in ADHD, he just like naturally gravitated to those types of drinks that had that juice in it.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I know that. I still love energy drinks. I'm trying to wean myself off of them, but
Listen, so, as much like with the Mountain Dew, there are some that are better than others.
yeah, and it's always the problem of finding out which one. Put up the hunting quest things in the thumbnail. Copy VT move.
Right, but that opportunity, let me. Hey, I've got because I just remembered to do some leveling. I've got a live Records from the Throne for you. I just got my old man Zhangju max ascension. It's mile protected.
I like that old man.
He's a cool guy. He's weird.
I feel like I do feel like they, even because he was portrayed as a villain, I do feel like they handled his villainous self better than they did in previous things, like back in like Camelot, for example. I know that's a far reach back, but you always, when I think about villains that get bad rap, I always go back to Camelot, thinking about Gawain and Tristan and whatnot. And that's something I do like to say about Zhangju, is that he's still a villain, but he still has his moments where you go, "Keck, that was funny."
Yeah, I think that's something writing-wise they've gotten a lot better at, because, like, a lot of early antagonist characters have bad raps, even though their playable forms are very different. But that's just how it was back in the day. But alright, since I got that down, that does mean that it's time to move on to Did You Finish Your Master Missions? They're pretty simple this week. You need to defeat 15 Archer Rider, Sabercaster Assassin, and Lancer Berserker Wombo combos.
Wombo combo.
Defeat 10 servants, and then it's 2 skill gem or statue drops, and then 4 skill gem or statue drops. All pretty normal stuff. And somehow we're not completely getting obliterated in Crystalline Conflict, even though I'm only, like, half paying attention.
That means your team's just that good.
We're trying. Rattling Coil, reload my guard. Nope, they did too much damage.
Yes.
Well, that is my move. I was setting up for my move Death Rattle. But that means we can scroll down a little bit. So, Skelograms. Our regularly scheduled news segment. As somehow we've managed to, I just saw we've managed to take up almost 15 minutes before even getting here. We're doing great.
Good job, us.
The show is cooking. But item number 1, technically, chronologically speaking, we've got the NA anniversary pre-release campaign. Not full anniversary campaign, but pre-release. You did get 30 SQ on the app anniversary date, but that's already come and gone, so if you missed it, you missed it. Whoops. That'd be how it be. But we do have I believe, a total login campaign for Apples and Tickets. That's what it says, is total logins. We've got limited time master missions for Faux Pas. Start Dash and returning master bonuses have been juiced back up for this time period. And this started the 26th and is going until the 4th of July. Even though we won't actually do our anniversary tie-in until then. But they had to make sure to set everything up. We also have the very funny max damage trial quest. This is an event they usually do it like... Sorry, I just got in-game stunned and was confused. I think I got fucking laser beamed. But usually this is the thing they do at like cons and other events, the max damage, but we've got a little testy one. So if you, really want to see how much damage you can do, it's right there. Check it out. But then we also have what's currently going on right now, Hunting Quests 12. Don't you love Hunting Quests, chat? Item number 1, first day was Skeletons. Current day today is Wyverns. That'll be over by the time this goes live to public on YouTube. But the next one will be Mermen, which is a shell quest. So have fun with that one, as I'm sure lots of people will. After Mermen, there is Garudas for Phoenix Feathers. There is Kelpie. The Kelpie hunting quest will drop bicorn horns, but also it will be accompanied by pirate women pirates who drop hero proofs. Then we got Soul Eaters for, Soul Eater drops. Also, I believe those are paired with Helter Skelters or mechanical army guys for, those drops. And the last day will be Kerberuses for Comet Shards.
Ooh, shit, Comet Shards. I'm definitely gonna need those.
Yeah, that's the last day, is Kerberus for Comet Shards. So plenty of good mats, new and old here. Plenty of fun time to get in. And obviously, Shells Before Summer is good. Obviously, the Bone Zone is always desired. Some of you may be hurting on the Wyvern Teeth. Like I said, the Kelpie one will be accompanied by enemies who drop hero proofs. I know some of you need some of those. I don't, because I still have like 600 of them from when they were our only daily login reward for a while. But yeah, it's out there.
Man,
so yeah.
I actually don't know why, but I have burned through all my hero proofs. I think I have like 20 left.
Damn, you've been leveling very thoroughly.
Well, yeah, but it's like I'm struggling. I'm having a bit of a struggle here.
Well, you'll have a hunting quest day that you can replenish some of them.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout this, you will notice in some of these quests, if you're playing the final level, basically one of the enemies will be randomly replaced by like a servant, and they will have a little dialogue line about how many days before, or they're supposed to have anyway, how many days before the celebration starts. What they referred to in their dialogue in JP as a big festival because it was FGO Fest. I don't know the exact dialogue. I haven't seen it, but you'll get a little nod. We do have some banners as well, which some people have actually been rolling on pre-anniversary, and that is, I believe in order, it's the one that started, which is still ongoing for a few days, is Arturia, Summer Artoria. Then you've got Maid Altar, Summer Jean, Buntoria, and Summer Kiara, plus some appropriate Summer SRs on all those read-ups as well. I was going to say it was a regular Saberface Jamboree, but then Kiara snuck in there at the end. Not sure what her deal is, but yeah, just some summer reruns going on. So yes, good catch-up banners before, anniversary descends, and also you got to worry about new summer. And of course, there will be a GSSR, so keep your eyes peeled for all that fun stuff. Sorry, hitting my water. But then, not necessarily the bigger news, but still pretty big, decent news. As I said before, when we started this off, JP's actually launched their new event.
Yes.
The stream was last night for us, so it'll be about a day ago by the time this goes out to public. And so, Dancing Dragon Castle has launched, starting the 28th, going until the 19th of July. That one's going to be real fun to cram in on our end, by the way. With 2-3 week reruns, probably.
Oh, yeah, no.
Get ready for some real squish shit. Real flex hours. Because this does have a new SSR. I know a lot of people were curious, but yeah, we did get one. The first off one is as predicted, Kiyohime costume for regular Kiyohime, and a rank up. Her third skill, which I believe was added by rank up anyway, but her stalking skill has been upgraded. I think the amount of defense down it does is increased, but it also does a couple of other things. So let me grab the new effects. Yeah, it increases how much defense down they get for, or maybe it increases the duration to 3 turns total. It also increases her damage against enemies who are burned for 3 turns, and grants an on-self buff 5 times 3 turns, which is if she attacks an enemy who has burn, she charges her own NP gauge.
Oh, shit.
And so it's a flat 10% per hit, so she can get up to 50. And interestingly enough, the buff on attack, it's just on attack, so it's not on normal attacks only, so it does work on her NP, which means you can get the AoE effect. I don't know if that uses multiple stacks or not, but nope, it says even if multiple enemies are hit at once, the number of buffs is only consumed once. So yeah, that's actually gives her very efficient NP reloading. So yeah, all in all, pretty good time. It's a 30% defense down for one enemy for 3 turns. So yeah, it's a solid one. And like we said, she gets a costume. But then there is a new banner. And yes, the banner comes with new servant, new SSR, alter ego, Aizumi no Isora, with the parentheses Hibiki and Chikagi. We'll have a little more detail later, but yes, these are Type Moon characters.
They are very deep Type Moon characters.
Yes,
like, pretty fucking obscure.
Yeah, I've got more detail in my notes, but to give everybody the short version right now, these 2 girls were the mascots for a previous version of Type Moon's website, I think until like 2012.
Specifically the mobile website.
Yeah, okay, so it was their phone version. And also are part of a like side story series, but I think it's only been in like one manga and some drama CDs.
Yes, it unfortunately got the axe. His name was Mahosukai no Hako.
Yes, roughly translated to Magician's Box. So yes, it's a very deep Type Moon cut. The Izumi no Isora is still related to this event about the Dragon Castle, Ryujin, and the Pearls of the Tides. They're a fairly minor Shinto deity. Like I said, I have some more notes later.
They're a slightly lewd deity.
But so there is some rhyme and reason to this, but obviously a lot of it's going to come out when we actually see, whatchamacallit, the profile and other stuff. Some of which we may be waiting for a little bit on, because these guys have locked higher ascensions. I think you can only go as high as 2, so the third and final ascension are presumably locked behind story progress. Obviously, you can still ascend the servant. It's just like, Oberon and some others. It's just that you can't actually see their art until you clear the story checkpoint. But yeah, we'll have more servant deets later after the mailbag flip. But yeah, new servant. And they are a duo. They are a team. A group servant, I believe is the trait name. Which, I think they take up 2 slots in the silhouettes. Which is good, because a lot of people were like, hey, anniversary is coming up soon in JP. Don't we have too many silhouettes left?
I don't think a lot of people are expecting the twin servant.
No. But yeah, you'll see a lot of similarities in their makeup when we talk about them to the other, like, duo servants, even though these 2 girls are not sisters.
No.
So it's not like our other duos, but it's funny. And it looks like, in general, just as a last, note, because we already talked about Tsukihime is out. You can play Piece of Blue Glass Moon. You can stream the Arc route, and, like, 1 day of the Seal route. So they're very strict on everything. So keep that in mind if you are streaming. I'm sure some people in our circles will be trying. But other than that, and it's, like we said, very strong review scores. Mm-hmm. The ends are back, baby. The only other real bit of news is that, in general, it looks like anniversary for NA is going to aim for a 777 kind of thing. 7th anniversary
jackpot.
On July 7th. Yeah, jackpot. Lucky sevens. Because the panel itself is going to be on the 7th, which means that technically server rollover will still be on the 7th in the West Coast time zone. It won't actually be on the 8th, so even if there's a maintenance, I think it might still be the right time. I don't remember if that's how that is with Daylight Savings Time or not, but yeah, so I'm pretty sure the panel is the 7th, and then you're gonna get our, everything will be announced then and probably go live technically still on the 7th, at least somewhere in the world. So yeah, that'll be a big old bundle of time there. But yeah, that is all of our news.
And if that is all of our news, that means it is time to shift gears over into this week's Let's Talk FGO Mailbag, the segment where we read what you have to say and comment accordingly.
And some people will actually get 777 Saint Quartz.
Is that divisible by 3?
No, I don't think. Actually, it might be.
Let me check. Yeah, no, if you have exactly 259 servants, yes, you'll get exactly 777. That is probably a number some people have. That's going to be pretty rad.
That does sound pretty funny. Yes.
But in our mailbag this week, we have 7 savory, hot, and fresh submissions, and we will get through them all. And we'll begin right meow. This first one comes from Monster Girl Aficionado, who says, Dear Terral Lucky and Solution 9 Omega. It's true. 14 pilled. No time for a question this week. Sending good vibes. Wah, 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 wah. Wishing you well. Keep up the great work. Now back to leveling Picto. Yes, this is the new expansion problem. The DPS everywhere are just Vipers and Pictomancers. It's not necessarily bad. I personally find it annoying. Because these are all a bunch of people who do not know how to play their class. They're just kind of wailing on things and just kind of going at it. I'm just like, ah.
As you say that, Ark is logged in and is beating up the dummy in our front lawn as Picto right now.
Hey, he's learning his rotation. That's good. Others should do that.
Yeah, it's funny. We'll probably talk more about it later, but rotation as Viper is sometimes not rotating. You just kind of flow, hit buttons. I don't quite remember all my optimization, but it's not super tough to learn. The main thing I miss is that there's not like a lot of like, unlike say like Dragoon, there's not a lot of like funny little buttons to hit to like buff yourself for others. You just kind of like start doing the wombo.
No, I do say that, Robin, but yes, no. Apparently, Pictomancer has the highest like DPS potential right now, even outperforming high level black mages. It's I don't know. Listen, I'm summoner for life. I do not care. I get a solar Bahamut. I get to shoot Akmorns. That's all I care about.
I've never realized this before, but I literally can't do some of my positionals against the striking dummy. He's backed into the corner. That's funny.
And Robin likes to eat his fairy.
That is a thing scholars can do now.
Oh,
probably.
But yes, don't worry. We will probably have more 14 thoughts later. So we move on to the next one here, which comes from the Tyrant King, ready to learn about the funny vamp that I saw in Carnival Phantasm all those years ago. Oh yes, also our new servant did have a cameo in the original Carnival Phantasm, as many other characters do, which is great. Guys, you should watch Carnival Phantasm. It is just good. Many Type Moon jokes. They're the best. Question. Hey guys, with Tsukihime now out, are there any Type Moon lore that you're interested in learning from it? Also, will you stream the first route on this channel? And that's it for me, saying good vibes your way, and hope you have a great evening. I don't know if I would stream VNs. Like, I don't know, like, I know there's some people that do it, but, like, there's also some people who, like, narrate it. Some people do a lot of commentary. Like, I don't necessarily know if I'm actually that good at video game commentary. Like, I can usually, like, just spout bullshit. Look at our Helldiver stream the other day where I was just being a menace. Also, I think I shot Loth a couple times just because I could. But, like, for an actual thing that has, like, story and lore and stuff, I think I would be much more invested in actually getting everything to stick in my brain rather than, trying to be entertaining with it.
Yeah, I, like, physically, yes, we could stream one route. I, can't do the whole thing because that's against the current streaming regs and would be absolutely be a YouTube jail situation. We've run that dance before. But like, I mean, this is a problem I actually have with stuff. People will know I'm a speed reader. There are times when I forget what I'm doing and cut off the like VO in 14 because I read the text box like instantly. Yes. If it's one line of text, I can read that very fast, and I'm like, my brain is like, okay, next dialogue, and I have to go, oh, wait, shit, didn't mean to do that, And I've, been, other people have talked about this when streaming other games, have been like, hey, Omega, you're advancing the text too fast, we can't read along, because like I said, I'm a speed reader, so, like, I would do much better just, reading a VN at my own natural pace, which would probably be very speedy, comparatively, and, I mean, like, yes, we could stop down and narrate it. We've done that for some of the cases in Great Ace Attorney, but that's also, kind of time-consuming to do all of that. And we're not, a professional voice cast. And I will say that personally, I get that some people like it. I hate when the Game Grumps or when other, like, Let's Player groups, like, do VNs and do voices, and half of them are dumb. Because it's very distracting from the text for them to be like, and now we're going to do our girl voice. Yes. Would you watch us stream Type Moon if this is the voice I gave our queen the whole time? No, probably not. You'd throw shit at me. But yeah, so
Robin, you're a gremlin. Shut up.
Probably wouldn't stream it. I don't know if the team has enough vibs for that.
I actually recognize that VTuber, excuse me. But no, and again, I still need to get on Witch on the Holy Night.
Yeah, we haven't played Mahoyo either.
It's in my list, but I'm in the Dawntrail right now. I gotta get through it.
There's a lot of backlog, yes.
But let's move on. This next one comes from Crying on the Inside from balancing Shin Meg 5 Vengeance and Blue Gas Moon. They say, good afternoon or evening to you, Lucky and Omega, with the news that we got the characters from Mahosekai no Bako. Along with, I know what this acronym name is, but it's like Woofins. I'm gonna call it Woofins. Wothens, Alko, Sonoji, and Alice. Sonoji is Sojiro, by the way. That's his meme name. Which characters from other Type Moon franchises would you like to see? For me, I'd like to see Kanon from the Type Moon supervised anime Kanon to make an appearance in FGO. Thank you both for your videos, and wanted spotlights, and pardon me while I crash sleep after work from waking up at 4 a.m.
It's like that sometimes.
Yeah. There's a lot of characters out there, but if we want to, like, reach in the whole, I think who I would probably want to see, because I think it'd probably be pretty fucking rad, would to pull out Gun God from Notes.
Yeah, there's a little bit of appreciation for Notes we could have.
Yeah, user of the actual Black Barrel.
Yeah, we do a lot of references to him, because there's like art and stuff that with iconic poses. It's like part of like what Double X does with some of her stuff is like notes reference, but we don't go all the way,
Because he's interesting that he's he's just a normal ass human in a world of non-humans, but he's the strongest because he has the black barrel. It's wild. It's like peak Nasu writing. It really is. But like I said, and Notes is known. Like I said, we have a lot of references, referencing like types and like the black barrel and other such concepts.
Yeah, we like Nasu really likes to bring the stuff that's in Notes into other stuff. Like the black barrel replica has been referenced since Melty Blood with Sion specifically. So we keep hitting that well. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing more out of it.
Other strange characters.
There's also Tsukino Sango.
Tsukino Sango. That's also another really weird one. Because that one was made like for a super specific reason. What was it?
I think was it for a short story contest?
It was.
Or was it a celebration of something?
Yeah, I actually haven't read it. I just know of it. Not entirely sure what you pull out of it. But what other like nice type moonworks are there? I mean, if I'm gonna be real, we need Neko arc, but we need all the cats of Carnival Phantasm and whatnot, just as one big conglomerate servant, kind of like how Daikoku-ten works.
That would probably be a funny setup, yeah. But a Neko arc in general would just be like and it doesn't even have. The thing is, it doesn't even have to make sense. It's Neko arc.
It doesn't. It's Neko arc. Neko arc does as Neko arc pleases. But that's how you can get the Neko Fran, the Neko Gramps, the Neko Carmilla. Which other ones? The Neko X. Make them all just one big servant. It'd be great. Yeah, where's my Carnival Phantasm collab? Where is that?
Yeah, one.
That would be great. But let's move on. The next one comes from Time to Find Out About Arc. Indeed. Question. Howdy, Lucky and Omega. Hope you're enjoying your pre-anniversary week. I am stuck in the jungle. This week, my question to you gentlemen is, what is your favorite campaign out of all the actual plays of fairy campaigns of any tabletop games you've been a part of? P.S. I was listening to old episodes, and y'all narrowed it down to a meeting in about 2012, so happy 12 years of friendship. Jesus, have we been known together for 12 years? Fuck.
Probably.
Jesus. Time, what is this shit? I remember playing Warframe with Ron and him telling me, hey, yeah, I'm gonna play with my gaming group. I was like, oh shit, I want in that gaming group. Well, when it comes to actual plays, like I said, I'm horrible about listening to other actual plays. I'm one of those. It's like watching other people gaming. Like, I think Omega is like one of the few people I can generally like stand to watch gaming. Other people, I'm just like, I'm gonna go do something else. So it's the same for actual plays. Instead of listening to actual plays, I'd rather be thinking about our own actual plays. Like, Lucky had to open up a second window on his Google Chrome because my other tab has 5 tabs open, which is Google Doc things of all for rain. Has my character sheet, the Dramatic Personae, the Nobles of the Beach, which has all the noble houses, the Marshals and Esoterica page, and the Sorcery page, which Omega just banged out like in the past few days. I'm just staring at it like, yes. My freaking character sheet and rain is full of comments. Like, full. I should post it in...
Yes, Lucky is a treat as a player to Game Master 4 because he spends quite a lot of time out of game thinking about game stuff.
Yes.
Don't have to worry about him skipping his homework.
No. But, and like I said, like 12 years with Omega. We played a lot of games, and a lot of them are really memorable. Mayhem Squad back in Age of Rebellion for Star Wars, pulling from like Force and Destiny, and no, it wasn't Age of Rebellion. What was the?
Yeah, it was Age of Rebellion is the name of the game, and Edge of the
Wasn't
Empire.
It,
we played it like all of the.
Yeah, but I was based mostly off Age of Rebellion. Yeah, it was Edge of the Empire and Force and Destiny. We did a big pool. Like I said, Taket was a treat. I think that was one of our really first big one where we like solidified a lot of jokes for us, and it kind of just grew. The Soholiv campaign was also very good. You know, that's when we definitely got in with like Loth and Axe and stuff. Really cemented that. Jinsekai also a very good one. It's a little more hit or miss. So probably not one of the best, but still very fun. Something I look forward to getting to. I do think right about now, I think probably my favorite campaign probably is Singularity War. Mages of War was good, but again, that was a little bit more when we were a little more Wild West with things, I want to say.
Yeah.
It was good stuff, good concept, but Omegas had a bad tendency to let things run away from him. And this is how we end up going out into the middle of the fucking desert and making it rain diamonds so we can afford whatever.
Yeah, it was definitely like well, I think it plays to like differences. Like I wrote that as a playtest game to just be like, I've developed a lot of systems and a lot of random charts, so I don't have to do as much work, and just I want to just like see what happens. And you and Martha as the buddy cops were like, I'm down to see what happens. But also as we got sessions into the game, it was very much like, okay, I'm down to see what happens, but also like, we need concrete goals. We can't just keep doing randomly generated missions forever. So, like, I had to, like, try and structure it a little, but also it was still, like you said, very Wild West, very loosey-goosey in the first place. So, we just kind of did stuff and see what worked, and then, like with a lot of games where I did original work and in playtesting, it then turned into, okay, well, so in that session, this thing, that thing, and that other thing happened, and two of those things I don't want to happen anymore, and one of those things you guys, the players, don't want to happen to you anymore. Lucky's terrible habit of getting hit once and passing out for, I want to say, like, the first 3 or 4 sessions of that game.
Oh, no, I remember the first session vividly. We went to the freaking camp. It started raining fucking oil. I had the officer markings on me so I can be better at leadership. They saw me, fucking slapped the fuck out of me. I ripped those markings off. I'm like, never again. And I became motherfucking World War I Iron Man.
Yes, you started a slow quest to have to your character to have the heaviest possible armor ever. Because you did indeed get shot in the face once and pass out. Because you took like more than half your wounds in one go, and we're like, all right, cool, con check. I don't make it. I'm sleepy now, and you did not have a healer in the squad in that setup.
No,
but yeah, so like there's a lot of memorable stuff about Mages of War, but also it was a lot of just chaos.
No, let's see. Our Delta Green campaigns are really good. I don't know if necessarily because we play them well, but I just want to I like to talk up Omega here. Omega's really good at his kind of existential horror and making people go, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's something that I think between my couple of attempts at a Eclipse Face, most of which my material hasn't ever been recorded, but I do have a couple of, if we ever wanted like a brief change of pace, I think I have a couple of complete one-shot adventures in my back pocket somewhere. Most of them for the first edition,
I'd rather just go back to Delta Green.
Well, yeah, there's that too. But, like, between that and Delta Green, I have learned that, like, no, I think I've absorbed enough, that lovely combination of, like, internet-style, like, creepypasta meme horror and, like, I don't play jump scare video games, but I watch other people play jump scare video games, you know what I mean? So, like, enough of the, like, creepy lore vibes from that and also just reading classic cosmic horror that I've gotten pretty good responses from players running those kinds of things.
Yeah, unfortunately, like, we are in the nature of a tabletop game, so it's really hard to get that full-on experience, but Omega's game several times, I'm sitting there trying to be in character, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening right now? I cannot deal with this.
Yeah, jump scares are hard in tabletop games. That's a thing that only works in, like, slasher movies and video games. Yeah, I mean, like, you can't put you can try to put a jump scare in a book, but that requires your publisher to be very specific. But, you can cap some real good existential dread in there.
I mean, that's what's really good about Starcourt. Like I said, if you don't listen to anything else that we've done of Delta Green, listen to the Starcourt campaign. Omega literally built a defunct mall in the Northwest, and just built a bunch of weird ass shops to go there, like, and just put references in everything. Like, my character fucking loved what was the name of the coffee shop? Was it
Mama's Black Coffee? Yeah,
it was Mama's Black Coffee or something like that. And it had effects when I drink it, and me as a fucking person, I'm all like, oh my god, this is a fucking ship reference. Or shub, excuse me, a shub reference. And I'm just like, but my character's like, good coffee. Going to the weird ass candy store, seeing what was it? I'm trying to think of the mascot name. Was it Deputy Dolly?
Deputy Debbie, I think.
Yeah, Deputy Debbie's. Like, seeing them all pretty, but then seeing them broke it. finding something almost akin to a fucking Fey court in the Arboretum. It wasn't exactly, but it was like the same thing.
There were some fairy circles and statues and stuff. No, I think the Deputy Debbie get was probably my favorite part of that sequence, where just like, you guys roll up and I describe, they have these like really elaborate, high quality mascot costumes. And then I double check everybody's saying, and I turn to you, Lucky, and I'm like, hey, remember that stuff I said to them? You don't see that. You see something different. And just like, you guys were very good about not actually letting it like cross the streams and metagame stuff, but that definitely like I think rotated the whole tone of that session whenever that happened. So yeah, check out Starcourt if you've never listened to any of our APs. If you're in a mood for a good spook 'em, the Delta Greens are very slow because my players are not idiots, and all of you like methodically approach everything. I think in Starcourt you don't leave the briefing for like a fucking hour because you're like, okay, all right, we've done this a couple of times. We're going to nail some stuff down. I'm not leaving until I, get a couple of answers to some questions here. But
yes, Aaron, I'm sorry. Aaron, that's something I appreciate about your characters. I feel comfortable about being at loggerheads with them and, arguing about stuff and not feeling like it's going to bleed over into our actual players. Like, that's something I super fucking appreciate.
Because we've had that. We've had in-character loggerhead stuff where stuff that should stay in character bleed over into out of character before.
No, but yes, no, Starcourt I think is very good, I think, and whatnot. But yeah, and Singularity War is good. Well, mostly because if you guys haven't realized, Lucky is very good at being a bad dude and being a schemer. Please listen to our Rain campaign, and you'll see me starting to make moves at the tender age of 16 involving, the entire fucking kingdom.
Yeah. Also check out Raid anyway, because it's our current passion project, but...
Mm-hmm. And Claymore lets me scratch the other. While I'm not necessarily quite a schemer, I am someone who can just do things without necessarily worrying about the morality of it, which is liberating, personally.
Yeah, and I want to say, I think the crew is actually pretty good about not,
No, I refuse. I'm not going to take all the girls, but I'm going to take most of them.
The group is very good in Singularity about not going apeshit about just we're bad dudes. That means we're gonna eat babies and kill puppies and sell drugs to kids. You guys managed to avoid the cartoonish problem of it, but it is playing bad guys in a cyberpunk setting is definitely we're criminals. We don't got to care about this stuff.
Yeah, no,
the system is inherently corrupt and favors the ultra rich. We don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, so I'm gonna sell drugs, launder guns, and probably kill people who probably have families, and I'm not gonna really care that much.
I should now it's probably an exercise for any quote unquote fans out there, but if anybody's listening back to the Singularity War AP and the Sprawl campaign that kind of prefaced it in the setting, please do the equivalent of the stat screen from fucking, what's the Alpha Protocol? Please somebody tabulate for me, Bones Broken is the stat for characters taken out technically non-lethally, and then Orphans Created is the stat the game tracks for, characters killed. I would love to see those stat numbers for Singularity War.
Sometimes we approach things non-lethally, sometimes we're just fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, truly, it is the criminal enterprise solution of, okay, so what's our cost-benefit analysis here? Is it less likely for us to go to prison or get shot up by SWAT guys if we do this non-lethally? If we kill people, are we gonna make enemies? And then if it's these people don't have any friends and don't have any money and we don't care about them, they're fucking dead. Their family's dead. I don't care. They're going down. That was where we left off, which was your big campaign against the Rustlers, who were outskirts of the city fringe gang that you guys didn't like, but also nobody else besides them really liked either. So, that was just free real estate.
It was free real estate.
Literally, their real estate was up for grabs.
Oh, I don't want it. I wanted their vehicles, and I got them.
I don't actually know what the technical definition of real estate is. I think it is only property, but, vehicles have concrete values.
I was about to say, physical assets?
It's true. It's definitely a physical asset.
I think the term is it's something liquidable, something that's tangible. I can't remember. I can't remember
liquidity. I don't remember exactly how it works either.
But
no, there's lots of stuff there. You should everybody should.
Like
check
I
that
said,
shit out.
like again, I love playing tabletop. I really do. Like Omega talks about it. I am constantly looking at Enos, my character, right now because this is the campaign. Just thinking about stuff. I'm making plans for my build. I'm looking at things what I want to do in the future. I'm considering my plans. I'm writing new notes on the ladies he fancies. Like
Yeah,
I have.
I don't know if we can say like Reigns are our favorite or what we're the most hype about yet, but like if you want high quality mementos, like the Reign campaigns really come together. Even when we haven't been like on our ball physically, you know, there's a couple sessions where I've been fucking sick. One of the more recent sessions, like Loth was not having a physically a good time. He was a little ill, like shit like that. But we're bringing our A game, and like I think there's a lot of really good like we said, like drama and stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
You should check it out. I posted the new one today.
Listen, in this latest one, my character Enos realized that there's such a thing as a fucking ice cream social and had an audible gas moment and decided to send out invitations to many people so we can have a fucking party. And I literally wrote up an invitation list. I'm like, Omega, these are the invitations. Here, send them. We're going.
Well, and I was like, please write me a list of these characters you're inviting because I gotta like remember this shit.
Mm-hmm.
We lost,
and I did, and it's great.
But all of this was one mailbag question.
It was. Well, I like talking about tabletop. It's one of my passions.
No, yeah, I know. It's just like I said. It's the content. It's exploding.
It's exploding. Explodes. But as for a favorite, if I had to pick, yeah, I think it'd have to be Singularity War right now. Genesis is fun, but Genesis has. I have to say, like now that I've played like base Genesis with the pyramid system, I think I like that better than pre-made trees because sometimes you yeah.
I love the trees because of just I made a fucking isekai RPG, gamelit RPG game, and I wanted it to be gamey, so it's got game systems which are, I agree, a little clunky, but are like very on point for what they do. But yeah, it's definitely much easier to do the pyramid system.
Mm-hmm. And I said I do like Porter, my pork priest.
I will say we don't get jump scared, but if you want to hear an alternative, because it's a very different tone. But if you want to hear a different tone of like much more like action movie style, the two Benison Island games in Genesis that Aaron ran, those also get us to do some fucking reaction calls of just like, oh, what the fuck?
No, that was very good. I almost like killed our party because I saw a log and freaked out thinking it was the gator. I mean, it was the gator, but we could have avoided that fight. But I was like, no, it's the gator. Get it? Bang.
I mean, it turned into the final boss fight. But yeah, no, it was a time.
No. So no, like again, like please check out our APs and leave comments on them. Tell us how we can do better on them. Make people more listen to them. It makes me very sad that we get so few views on them. I know APs aren't necessarily everyone's cup of teas, but if you do listen, please give some feedback. I knew Blacklist OG you do give feedback, and I appreciate every single time you do. So thank you for that. But if anyone else out there is listening to them, please leave a comment and let us know how we can make it better so that we can deliver higher quality products to you.
Yeah, it's obviously some of that's going to be its own thing that like there's limits on what we can do because it would be we game with different people at different times, so like making sure every single person in the crew has the same quality of microphone all the time is tough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what kind of fucking toaster Dallas is running from these days anyway. I think I'm gonna bet he still hasn't gotten a new computer. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily blame him because they're expensive, but it's one of those things where I swear once a month for like the past 6 months, Dallas has been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a new computer. I'm gonna get back in Final Fantasy 14. I'm just like, sure you will, Dallas. Sure you will. But yeah, if people got more, it's a different vibe of actual play. Like if you've ever watched like a Critical Role or a Dimension 20, those are obviously super popular, but that's all people who are like in person in studio doing these games, so they like have sets and props, and obviously that's much more production value than we can afford to do, especially since all of our players are all over the place. But if you do got any notes, be sure to let them. We switched to capturing video feeds, so you guys can usually see the dice rolls at least in some of our text asides.
Memes, lots of memes, mostly from Loth. Loth cannot be contained.
But yeah, check them out. Like I said, I assume the audience is smaller just because it is a more niche thing, and we don't play the one game that everybody plays, which is D&D. Because I play better games. I said it. I've put my fucking hours in D&D. And I can say that we play better games. But check them out if you want. And like I said, if you miss the days when we would just have a 4-hour what's up about nothing, or we could make Let's Talk FGO go for 4 hours about nothing. One, that's us streaming. Check out the weekly streams, the 14 and the other rotating stream series. That's what those are these days. Power Wash Simulator was just that. It was just us methodically washing things for 3 to 4 hours and talking about whatever. But the APs are also a great way to kill your time. If you're queuing for Dawntrail, or you're doing hunting quests, great way to get your content in. I don't want to have to do Roll20 because everything is now a paid service. I like grid squares, but I don't like having to make them and futz with virtual tabletops.
Instead, we prefer just to use the Mind Eyes Theater.
And I know that does cause complications sometimes, which is why I'm willing to scribble things in MS Paint. We literally haven't. You guys diffused the one opportunity so far. Well, there's a couple opportunities, but once again, I don't think a duel with the Marin twins is forthcoming. So unless Nicola does some very, very weird role-playing choices.
I mean, it could be a duel in the bedroom. I don't fucking know.
But you guys have basically dodged every attempt for normal style combat, so we haven't had to draw up any combat maps for Rain.
Yep. But again, like I said, as hype I am for Dawntrail, I'm gonna be, Sunday morning. I'm just gonna be rubbing my hands together, be like, let's fucking go. But I do believe that is enough on that. Let us get moving on. Thank you for the question very much. I love talking about this. But our next one comes from Soul of the Light Mode Discord, who says, Dear Lucky of Care Banog and Omega the Modron. Really? The Modron? Mostly, I just want to wish you both some good vibes. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. But also, I've been curious, since D&D has been on my brain for a while. Hasn't been on mine, I'll tell you that. What are your preferred Dungeon and or Dragon classes?
I mean, it really depends on the edition. I had fun playing a Paladin in 5th, but there's a lot of different stuff. Bards are usually funny.
I don't know, because here's the problem with me playing D&D. Me, Lucky, I am not a meta player. I am not a most efficient tactical available player. I like playing things because I think they're neat and they're cool and let me do a specific thing. D&D doesn't let you play like that. It really don't. Some people don't want to fucking admit it, but it's true. If you're not trying to make the most broken fucking ass character you can by level 12, you're just gonna fucking die. And if you're not doing super fucking good between levels 1 to 3, you're just gonna fucking die. The sweet spot between D&D is between 3 and 10 of actual good game contact before shit just is going fucking overblown, and I have almost never had a good time doing that. Almost never. I think you want my favorite fucking... Okay, no. I know exactly what it is. I know my favorite fucking character, because I actually had a blast with this character. I think it was the one time. I played a fucking Warforged Artificer using the fucking the Eberron setting guide and the races of Eberron and all that stuff, because I could just make shit and install it on my body as a Warforged. It was the greatest. I loved it. Yes, Warforged Artificer from 3.5. That is my favorite. Because they can get a gauntlet that's an oversized weapon that you can put wands in and do fucking Mega Man blasts with. That was the shit. I got crafting feats for free. I got abilities to reduce the time and cost of them. Like I said, I can install magic items on my body and stuff. And I had access to a spell list, which, can let me repair items and do other fun little stuff. That character got a spider cloak, so I can scale up walls. So I am this giant, this 6 foot. I'm this 6 foot, mecha man, scurrying up walls and across ceilings like Spider-Man, looking down on people and blasting them with energy blasts. That was my best time. That was my peak energy. But also, that's what, fucking D&D is. It's becoming, something so stupid and overpowered that you can actually handle, fucking blade elementals from the elemental plane of blades.
You gotta watch out for those guys.
You gotta watch out for the ghosts. They're literally nothing but swirling blades of violence that do, ungodly amounts of damage. Ugh. But yes, Warforged Artificer. Not the Warforged is the race, but you have to put them together because you get fun little racial things you can do when you do them together. So yes, 3.5. Realms of Eberron.
Warforged are, I believe, very popular since 3.5. They've made it into the both subsequent editions.
Oh, they have? I didn't know that. But also, Lucky's favorite class is also Enos. I've been wanting to play like a demonic, succubus / incubus for a while. Maybe focus on more like social and diplomacy and enchantment illusion stuff. I'm gonna be real, you can do that stuff in D&D, it never fucking works. It doesn't fucking work. Because a lot of those spells only work up to fucking so many hit dice of enemies, and you'll find that the hit dice of enemies completely outscales the level of the fucking spells you can cast of that type. Like enchantment, whole person, sleep. Yeah, you can magic missile all day fucking long, but as soon as you read past like four...
Sleep is still that way. I think most, mind affecting type spells have gotten better in subsequent editions, but it's still definitely one of those things where, like, if you choose to be the Diplomancer, as they usually call it, like, that's a choice you make that, well, when your GM inevitably has to insert a combat because it's D&D and they have to, the only rules are for combat, that's when you're like, well, guess what? I have 4 hold persons today. I guess that's it.
No, so like that's my problem when I was playing like the Pathfinder games, Kingmaker and Wrath of the Righteous. I was like, no, they're good games if you like, that meta game and power creep. But if you just want to do something like fun and more like close to it's a little harder. It's the same with Baldur's Gate Theme. Baldur's Gate Theme, an amazing game, phenomenal storytelling, excellent combat. Still lends itself to, playing a few specific types so you can get the maximum effectiveness out of your characters. And that's what I don't agree with. Also, I don't like leveling in D20 games. Just you hit the XP, you get these bonuses, you get maybe a little bit of thing. You are basically stuck on a specific path unless you want the multi-class, and then that gets into other bullshit and then leads to you must make the most meta fucking build ever, otherwise you're just gonna not be able to do fucking anything. I do think people should put have some sort of semblance of what they want and it should be cohesive, but D&D systems are very prone that if you are not doing something very specifically, you will just not be able to maintain damage as the enemies increase. But yeah, that's me. That's Lucky on D&D and why I don't like it. This is why I like point buy systems. Like everything we play basically nowadays is a point buy system. I don't think we played a static leveling system in ages. I don't think we've actually played a static leveling thing ever. With
this group, probably not.
Because we've never played D&D, we've never played Pathfinder, we've never played any sort of Roll20 system. Like, it's been Fantasy Flight games, it's been like it's been the Genesis system, the D100 system, the One Roll engine, Powered by the Apocalypse, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I've tried to get some, like, games that technically have, like, classes or roles, careers and stuff in them. But most of those are still, like, even if they're Fantasy Flight, they are, like, still, point-based. Like, playing the Star Wars RPG is like, yes, okay, you're a smuggler and a gunslinger, but, that just shapes where you can spend your points and how cheap stuff is. It doesn't actually, like, block you out to, well, you're now a level 20 gunslinger, you must pick up gunslingery 4. If we were going to play what probably is a distinct class and level system, it would probably be the 14 box, just to see what it's like. And I'm pretty sure they have, different mechanisms than D&D anyway, from what we've seen.
So, with that, we're going to move on. This next one comes from Agent 418 saying, hello, Lucky and Mega. Have a good weekend, y'all. Thank you for that. I look forward to that every week. I need good vibes in my life.
We're vibbing the good.
So, this last one, I should say, comes from Killion King, who says, 2 things I would like to bring up, one related to FGO, and the other about this week's Yu-Gi-Oh! Video I didn't have time to attend. First off, my luck with pet-related events has been criminally bad. During last year's summer event, my aunt and uncle's family lost their large dog, Princess. And during this Balkan event, my father, a retired Air Force dog handler, lost his own personal dog, Belle, around Father's Day of all days. Oh, geez, that fucking bites. I am sorry for the loss. It always hurts to lose for a family. Second, in a cosmically perverted way, I realized why Melfi being friends with Zeus makes thematic sense, because Zeus, on multiple occasions, took the form of various animals to get close to, seduce, and occasionally even bedded women as said animal, I think.
Yeah.
This is true. I'm pretty sure he's turned into a bird, a bull. I remember specifically he turned into a shower of golden rain and impregnated someone that way. Bruh.
He's just chilling.
I think turning into Golden Rain to have sex is the opposite of chilling.
No, it's not very chill. Unless, is the rain literally gold? That might be cold.
That might be cold. I don't know. Could be warm too, Golden Rain. But unfortunately I have nothing to add on the Yu-Gi-Oh bit. I do not understand. That is not my realm. I am sorry for the loss of your beloved family though. But if we have nothing else to say on that, that will be it for the mailbag.
Alrighty. Well, we'll move on to talking about the new servant in a number of seconds when I promptly die. There it is. Get my ass kicked in Crystal Conflict again.
Yeah.
But yes, it was Mailbag. A delightful time it was. How are we going? Okay. Hour 10. Alright, so let me close that tab up. So, this will be a brief free talk, because there's nothing else to really talk about going on. We're chilling.
Mm-hmm.
We do have new servant deets. So, first of all, talking about the new servant, roughly, Azumi no Isora, like I said, is a relatively minor Shinto deity associated with the island of Kyushu and with Ryujin, the dragon god in the Dragon Palace. Got some connection as well to the legend of Empress Jingu, and she owned the 2 tide jewels, which is obviously going to be relevant for this servant. So keep that in mind. But as we mentioned before, Hibiki and Chikage are relatively obscure Type Moon characters. They were mascots for the mobile version of their website from 09 to 12, as I mentioned earlier. And also, we're interconnected with a few different things, like drama CDs and a tie-in manga and stuff. But as a servant here, we've got new alter ego. So, in a shocking turn of events, Game Press, the website I usually have to go to chart everybody's stats, their list of servant stats is not updating. They're probably punching in some stuff in the background right now. So, nobody else currently does a handy self-sorting chart of servant attack and HP stats. And there are 10 alter egos, so me compiling those on my own would involve a lot of rapid-fire tabs that I don't want to do right now at 10 o'clock at night, when I could be playing Dawntrail. But doing some quick skimming, it seems like Isora is slightly on the higher attack, lower HP side, so a little more offensive focused. I can tell you that they are QQABB, with average hit counts and NP gain. It's 0.55 NP gain and 343, which, because they have one arts card, the 4 is slightly better. NP is going to be an AoE quick. It's 8 hits. Gesundheit.
Excuse me.
Double Gesundheit. 1 sneeze for each tide jewel. But NP is AoE quick, 8 hits. It removes all defensive buffs first, so fuck you. It deals bonus damage to enemies who are chaotic. If you are on Water Field, you get 20% NP gain first as well, which makes looping really easy. Also, its overcharge effect is to raise quick and buster damage for 1 turn first. Starts at 10%, goes to 30%. So, fairly, a good kit spread. You got a lot of different options there. Also, let's see, that's everything in the NP does. So first skill is a party-wide 10 to 20% buster and quick and NP gain up for 3 turns, and is also at 2 hits, 3 turns of aid. So, really good party-wide buffs that are relevant for their own kit, and also a hard defense. That's super fun. Second skill is going to be a 20 to 30% battery for self and a 10 to 20% battery for party. It doesn't say for other party members, so I believe this is a 50% on self when maxed out, and then 20% for everybody else. It also increases the party's max HP by 2k to 3k for 3 turns. So max HP buffs. That's one we don't see every so often, but is really good, the max HP.
Yeah.
And then the third skill is a pretty normal 10 to 20% NP damage increase for the party for 3 turns, but it gives it also makes the field water for 3 turns, I should say now, because that's a permanent effect. So all those things I said where you get X NP gain on water, etc., that will almost assuredly be proccing when you want it to, because you have a buff that makes it water for 3 turns. I think this is our third servant who makes the battlefield water, if not more.
Well, as we get more and more field effects, we need more people who can make fields. Otherwise, it's kind of
it's
bad.
true. It's funny to me that water is the one that clearly Type Moon is easiest to cram into kits.
I think it makes sense with a lot of summer servants doing it and whatnot, because we've had other ones clear skies, like, sun shining, forest,
Yeah.
burning
I mean,
fields.
it makes sense that, like, turning the battlefield forest or city is probably the hardest. Sunshine can be rough. Probably there should be more NPs or skills which make the battlefield burning, but it's fine. It's fine, FGO. You don't have to do that. But yeah, so, but also this gives them 3 hits, 3 turns of on-attack buffs. One is for using quick cards, which gives the enemy that is struck 10% defense down for 3 turns, and one is on Buster, which raises their critical damage for 3 turns. So, again, you're seeing instantly that kind of, like, card duology bonus. You're looking for Buster and quick buffs. You get special on-hit buffs with your normal cards to, do defense down and crit up, which can mean you can do some very nasty hits. Got some great defensive skills with a 3k max HP increase and a 2 hits, 3 turns of aid. Very fun stuff, yeah. No, these servants are, like, very super well designed. And then also, they have, like, 6 passives. So first, they have just flat 10% buff removal, resist, and debuff resist. They have an independent action B, so they get 8% crit up on themselves. They have a special passive which gives the whole party 5% extra crit damage all the time when they're on the field. So just giving you that support blend. Their version of Divinity gives them not only damage plus, but also a 100 flat damage cut. So they just have damage cut all the time. And then lastly, they have a passive which generates 5 stars per turn and 5% NP per turn on water battlefields. That means that when you pop their buff to turn the battlefield water for 3 turns, you get 5 free stars per turn and a total of 15% NP regain. Not accounting for the fact that Melt can make it water, Jiangju can make it waterside. Like, there are a couple of other waterside tricks. So yeah, no, seems fun. For characters that are gonna be like a super deep cut for most people, you're looking at a unit which seems really good. Like, has a, not necessarily meta. I don't even know what the current farming meta is anymore. Like, I feel like every time a new SSR comes out, almost we're talking about changing it. But, every card type at least has several heavy hitters in terms of both support and damage output. But, like, this NP seems like it is very viable. It's a AoE quick with huge hit counts. This servant has multiple ways to buff their NP gain. Like, they can get, like, 40% NP gain up. When keep in mind, they already have 0.55. Like, they already have normal NP gain. You can get, like, a fucking 40% bonus on that. You can, buff your damage output on Buster and Quick. And you strip defensive buffs first and do trait damage. This unit seems great. Like, it seems like Lasangel has finally cracked the code of how to make a servant with terrain buffs good, in that, like, most of them are just aside benefits that just make them super cracked, and also you can just make it water for 3 turns, So, yeah, seems real good. And I guess we're gonna see how things shake out as well, because like I said, we can't see their last couple Ascension arts. They are story-locked, we believe.
It's gonna be something wild.
Yeah, I'm wondering if more of the Divinity side will come out, because they seem pretty normal right now.
Maybe they're gonna do some sort of fusion.
Like, if I didn't know any better, I would be like, what VTuber I don't know collab are these 2 characters, right? Like, not in a mean way, but they seem like perfectly normal anime girl designs. Their NP is pretty rad, though. They shoot like a double Kamehameha wave through Torii gates. So, like, production value seems high. But yeah, obviously, we have no idea who the anniversary servant is, and we've got a summer coming around, chat, and this event will be happening interspersed with, Mother Draco and Tiamat banners. So, like...
Your wallets are dead.
Yeah, obviously, roll for your favorites. I'm not going to tell you to hunt down this unit, which is probably meta, but it seems like I said, like, Lasangel has created a unit which is able to compete in slot with other units and make you want to roll them even if you have no idea who the fuck they are. Because I suspect that there are people in Japan who don't know who these characters are. Like, this is way before Type Moon, I think, hit mainstream popularity even in Japan. Like, I think Fate has been, like, fairly robust. I don't actually know. Like,
it was actually pretty good. I believe, if I remember correctly, this was like the late aughts, early 10s for Type Moon, I believe. So, Fate's Night had its anime adaptation. I believe they had the set. They had Tsukihime and other such things out. But this was definitely before the FGO times and the Unlimited Blade Work times.
Yeah, this was definitely before their budget really blew up and like their marketing blew up, I should say. They were probably fairly popular, and Type Moon still does, obviously, with like a lot of the April Fool's gags we see and other stuff. But like Type Moon is very famous for doing lots of funny, cute stuff on their websites.
Oh yeah, no.
So I'm sure lots of people saw the mobile website in Japan.
No, the Type Moon April Fools are hilarious.
Yeah, but still, like, definitely not the surprise, Type Moon tie-in character you'd expect, especially pre-anniversary.
Give me Toko anniversary. Give.
We can hope. We can see. We got a few months.
Lucky's on that copium.
The origin is clearly Crunchyroll Hime. Yes, thank you, Patreon chat. Yeah, no, if you get them to NP5, they self-modulate their damage for that overcharge effect. Also makes, those servants were already good, but gives you extra synergy with any servants that, give your squad, like one level of overcharge for free in the comp. You just get more damage boosted. But yeah, that is going to be that block of that, which means it's time to move on to other stuff. Let's see where we're at. We're about 120. Well, the first thing in my What's Up notes is Dawntrail in all caps.
All caps, baby. It went live 2 a.m. last night. Lucky was there. That clock turned over to 2 a.m. I hit play. I went in. I was still like 300 in queue. Robin was there. I think that was actually the first time Robin actually hung out with us while playing 14. Robin has a very chaotic lifestyle. But we got in. We did stuff. We saw the sunrise in Turiola. I think I took a screen cap somewhere.
Probably. I tried to filter through like the public chat and the crow's nest, but guess what? There was a lot of stuff at 5 a.m. my time to start cycling through. So I won't say I went to bed like a normal person, but I did sleep overnight during the launch, but was able to get up later and in the early afternoon get in relatively quickly. It is no longer quick. I don't know if we're quite as bad as Endwalker. I think.
Well, we are not. Trust me.
Loth personally maybe having that bad, but that's because he's connecting from the Upside Down.
Well, don't worry about the Mog Station Axe. You don't actually put in your code until the actual release date.
Yeah, your pre-release is fine. It's just that, admittedly, the Square Enix store is still so backwards that like you have to put in a separate authorization code for the normal license when the normal drop happens. But yeah, it's not something you need to worry about right now.
But yes, I posted on Patreon chat. That picture is of the very first sunrise in Turiola. Because in-game, it was like fucking middle of the night when everyone got in. It was actually great, because me and Robin were running around in the city, like, exploring stuff. We found the jumping puzzle on the palace. Well, Robin didn't. He was very excited. I think he completed it already. But we were, like, running up, and I was like, shit, Robin, the sun's coming up, look! And he was like, oh, shit, we gotta go look! And we all went to go find scenic locations to watch the sunrise, and we were like, yeah! No, we're, like, having a blast. Like, we had a blast exploring the new city. We're out in the fields and stuff. But yeah, no, we're in early access for Dawntrail. Things are good. The patch notes are huge. There are many things to do. The land is awash in vipers and pictomancers.
Correct.
No, it's not heresy, Axe, but I will judge you. Because you're going to want to play something else, and then like a few months down the road, you'll be like, oh no, I'm so behind in 14. Why? I am exaggerating this. I know you will not exactly be like that, but that's how it feels sometimes.
Well, and I mean, it's like, you can say peer pressure or whatever, but also, like, if you don't want to get in the early access, why did you pre-order and get the early access?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not using the Dawntrail parts of the early access right now, but I'm in 14 and I'm enjoying the new features of 7.0 early, in that I'm leveling Viper right now. Because I'd like to do MSQ as Viper, but, we'll see what the fucking shake he is.
And it's all like, again, like, put as much time as you want into it, just... Lucky has a low tolerance for bullshit, and if you say you want to, put time into it, and then do not put time to it, and then later complain that you're not as far as you want to be, I'm just gonna look at you and it's like, then what are you doing? Palestine life. That's like I said, I knew what I was about. Like, shoot, Lucky, yesterday, I napped throughout the day, so I can be up at 2 a.m. I played from 2 a.m. to about noon, a little after noon. I think it was like noon 30, 12:30. I went and took like a 3-hour nap, got up at 3 a.m. and went right back into it. And I'm probably going to keep going until 2 a.m. again, and then sleep like maybe 6 or 8 hours and get right back into it. Like, I am here. I am here for it. This is what I have been wanting. I also need to do that because I realized that the first week of July is actually a little packed. Because, like I said, we have the full release of Dawntrail. Was it July 1st or 2nd? It's like really early. But also we have Zenless Zone 0 and the First Descendant coming out like within days of each other. A day of each other, even. And I have been wanting to check both those games out. I don't know if I'll actually dedicate time to them. But I want to check them out. I think the First Descendant actually might be okay. I think it is kind of a hero shooter, but I think it's not like it's not a PvP hero shooter, it's a PvE hero shooter. So it might be more in the lines of Warframe than it is like Overwatch and other such things. So I'm excited about that. And I did want to say that I wanted to give Zenless Zone 0 a try, even if I still don't actually understand anything about this game except some character designs, which I like. Giving me that urban feel. I love urban costumes. They're great. Yeah, no, like character designs. I think in Zenless Zone 0. I'm remembering over that. And also, the First Descent also has some rad-ass designs, so I want to check them out at least. Also, I have broken a fucking sacred-ass covenant that I made with myself. I have reinstalled Warframe because we were in the 48-hour maintenance. Lucky is just, sprawled out on the floor, like contemplating his fucking life, and he's just like, what do I want to play? Like 14 is my no brain go do stuff game. But that was before I got like everything to 90 and like completed most of the class quests. Cause I spent like the last couple weeks just finishing stuff. I completed all the Blue Mage quests. I completed all the crafting quests. I ran around, cleaned up some other things. I completed much everything except a few very random ass quests. Like there's this riddle quest you can do, and then there's a quest to complete a fucking one of Geralt's kettles. It's really cool. It's like a relic kettle that are still in there. But other than that, like I'm done. Other thing else is just mindless grinding and trying to get into high-end content. And I'm still leery about getting into high-end content because people like to say they're nice and welcoming and want to help people. They lie. They fucking lie as easily as they breathe.
Yeah, my understanding is a lot of like actual high content players are pretty cutthroat.
They're pretty cutthroat. If you're not like monitoring your pars, doing optimal rotations, they start judging you. And I do not like being judged. I like marching to the beat of my own drum. That's why I'm trying to get people in our own AC so we can, do it our way. But so yeah, aside from getting into like the high level stuff, like I'm kind of like done with 14. So in the 48 hours, I'm like, all right, what do I like playing? And I'm like, well, it's Warframe. Warframe has like several years of updates that I haven't done, and I got into it. I reinstalled it, got into my account, and it was just as I left it. The only problem is it's just as I left it several years ago, and I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I'm like, I was building all this stuff. I probably had a flowchart of what I was going to do next. These quests I was left on. What am I doing? It doesn't really help, too, that there was a bug when I loaded up that wouldn't let me complete a quest. So I was just like, I was kind of stuck. Yes, no, but Aaron did message me saying that if I'm going to play Warframe, he'll play it with me, too. And I'll be like, sick. It is good to be Space Ninjas with friends. But I did also have to mention that this would probably happen after the big Dawntrail push because we're in it. We're fucking in it. There's a lot to do. A lot of new things to discover. New people to see, quests to see, side quests to complete, dungeons to run, trials to thrash, and tears to shed. Maybe, I don't know.
Yes, so far, people it's the first fucking day of the early access.
Corn to serve. I love the corn servants.
Yeah, a lot of people are into the corn. So far, what I've heard from like initial impressions is that the story is so far still pretty low stakes. Obviously, that's gonna fucking change, but
yes, new sailors to be swarthy. One of Robin's favorite NPCs is the swarthy sailor you meet at the beginning, the Dawntrail. Also, the Dawn Servant, really great voice. Yes, talk to me, daddy.
Well, hopefully we'll meet that guy soon.
Oh, but yes, Dawntrail is great. Like I said, we don't really have much to talk about it right now. There is a lot of quality of life things under the hood. We got, face wear, the 2 dice system,
which has some pretty funny ones. The Sophist robes, you can dye the mask.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good.
Yes, it's the 1 die channel is for the robe, the other die channel is for the mask.
We're gonna have some fucking Asian role players running around now.
Well, and I think Azem is supposed to be a black mask,
I'm not sure.
so we probably see some people doing that. But yeah, it's mostly just clear up stuff. I mean, there's a couple of new classes. There's some fixes to old classes. I had to like reopen each of my gear sets and dismiss the tooltip for my job gauge because all those got reset.
Yep.
And had to change up hotbars for a couple of classes because some a lot of gap closer attacks have gone away and been replaced with non-attack gap closers. Not really sure why exactly. I do know that it was kind of a like question when you would like talk about optimal rotations of like, well, when are you going to use a global cooldown on a gap closer,
Mm-hmm.
So, like, because it was an attack, so I guess it just makes more sense to just take the brain out of it and just be like, just use your dash whenever you would want to dash. What's really weird now is that, like, we've got, like, I think, like, technically, like, 3 types of these dashes. There are some which are just, like, you scoot in a direction, like, they added an ability to White Mage, which is just you scoot forward. It's not, like, a targeted dash. You have abilities like the Sage's Icarus and the Viper's Slither, which are jump to, enemies or allies, and then you've got, I think are there still some jump abilities that are only to allies? Like, can the Black Mage teleport jump to enemies as well, or is it only a friend?
I think it's only a friend. Aaron would know, though.
Yeah, you can jump to a friend, and also you can both jump back to your ley lines, and also move. Now you can move your ley lines if you've got a high enough level ability. You can just squeak them along.
Drag them over like a plastic white chair.
Yeah. And then obviously, like, a lot of the abilities that were attacks are still enemy only. They're just now, like, dash charges. Like, you've got the Dragoon gets Dragon Glide. I don't remember what the Gunbreaker one is called.
Trajectory.
Yeah, Trajectory. Dark Knight is changed now. You don't have Plunge unless you're in PvP. So there's a lot of those little things, but it's an interesting one to see. I haven't tried the new Astro, but I'm seeing several people out here playing Astro, so it can't be that bad. But yeah, big 14.
Stop dragging the fucking boss around, you sons of bitches!
No, they're gonna do it. I feel like, I don't know if it's because, like, maybe some people don't have the early access or what, but, like, I feel like we're slightly in clown shoes hours.
Oh no, we definitely are.
Like, I did my due diligence. I tried to ungum the duty finder earlier. I did, like, leveling as tank. I did Gunbreaker and got, like, Tower of Zot, right? That one, we, no complaints. The healer was, yelled out to everybody because I had a Picto and a Viper, of course. Remembered food buffs kind of a thing, and, like, we all, that was very calm, professional, but, like, doing, like, raids and stuff and some other sets has been, like, just big goofball energy. Several people I've heard talk about, like, oh, they're spinning the boss and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think we're in, we're all. It's been 48 hours. Everybody's gooped out. But yeah, you'll be seeing some MSQ from my POV shortly. I know Aaron got to the first dungeon, so it can't be that much time in.
I've been on a grind. My summoner's already like level 95. My Gunbreaker is level 91, about to hit 92. I've only reached the second area. I'm still in the prologue segment.
Yeah.
Where you go visit new areas. But I've been on that grind. I am doing so many fates.
And you're doing your normal strategy, but we've talked about this before of clearing out every side quest also.
No, I like doing the side quests. You learn fun things. I've learned why the Pelu Pelu wear those masks and why the way they are. You find that stuff in side quests. This is my eternal complaint. A lot of people complain about side quests being boring, and I just say those people don't like fucking reading.
Well, I will say I think it's because FF14 does not differentiate with them. There are like, I feel like 2 kinds of side quests primarily, and I think their writing in general in 14 gets better as you go deeper. But like, half your side quests are like, hey, go here, touch this purple spot on the ground, beat up this thing that pops out. Or some other variant of like, go out into the world and like do a little fighting dance because some person is like in trouble or we've lost a creature or something. And sometimes those have good story. Some of those can be very like, I actually to when I was doing all the role quests to like Speedball Machinist, I did a decent chunk of quests as like Red Mage and Machinist in Elpis. It's it's cute that a lot of those quests are like, oh, here's how the ancients invented this iconic 14 creature. But, like, most of them don't have any more depth than that, than just like, oh, look, it's a guy. You recognize this guy. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I understand after, like, 2 of these that, like, okay, I get it. The ancients invented a lot of our problems. And also some of them are cute.
Well,
Like
again, this is
axolotls.
what I mean. It's like, by doing side quests, you understand the culture and the way around of how things worked in that area and why they do certain things. Even if it is just monotonous tasks doing that, that is still what Elpis was for, was the creation of creatures and maintaining them.
Yes, but I can understand that, like, I personally don't need the game to keep telling me, like, 20 times, hey, the ancients invented Marlboros, and then these flying guys, and then those guys. I'm like, I got it. They invented it. But it is, like you say, it is the thing that they would be doing there. But sometimes you get, like, much more different quests that, like I said, are much more in the angle you're talking about, where, like, one of the quests in Elpis, to use that as an example, because I'm thinking of it, was, like, you talk to one of the ancients, and they're like, hey, can you talk to my mentor and, like, convince them to not die? Because their work is done, so they're thinking of retiring, which for the ancients is, retire to the life stream. And there's just this, like, weird little moment where they're like, no, my work is done, I'm tired, I'm gonna, choose to return to the planet and stuff. And it's like, yeah, those are much more, like, deep cuts or heavy hitters. And, like, honestly, even the ones that are, like, fairly repetitive, they don't take a lot of time. I do think, though, that, like, a decent number of people, like, may have cut their teeth on some of the side quests in earlier areas, or even some of the MSQs, which were, like, chunks of AAR, even when they've been slimmed down, are notoriously fetch questy, to, like, they've been burned by some of this stuff and kind of, like, are like, wary. You can spend your time doing them. I have, like, weird gaps in my side quest clearance. Like, there's some areas early on that I've gotten a lot of stuff that's, like, completely cleared out of. But I have, like, weird gaps because I'm one of those people who's like, well, there's an EXP reward for doing this quest, so I want to do it, when that would, like, juice up a class I have. And obviously I still have, like, AAR classes to unlock that are going to start at level fucking 1, so I will eventually get to everybody.
I guess I just have a better tolerance for these things, because I just enjoy hearing about little people's stories. Even if it's just the most menial task, it gives me insight to their life. Even if it's just as simple as, like, delivering stuff, usually they'll talk about, like, how that affects their life and stuff. I'm just like, tell me more. Let me know who you are. Give me insight into this world.
Yeah, like, I just did one that was much more interesting in Charlie and Hamlet. That's the current block of side quests I'm doing to level Viper. Where it was like, gather up some samples, and, the quest giver was talking about, like, oh yeah, so these come from, like, this climate and that thing, and I'm like, yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really learn much about somebody's life that I couldn't assume when I had to do a quest to, like, help the skinny researcher carry crates that was given by the burly researcher. There wasn't even really a lot of dialogue there, but that's kind of like something you've talked about before. That's more of like a levity break, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's not quite a joke quest. There are some of those.
I can tell you about the joke quest that I did earlier today.
Oh yeah, like I know for a fact there are straight up quests that are meant for comedy beats. That I think was just meant to be like, it's not really supposed to be like a gut busting laugh, but is supposed to be like, a lighthearted middle moment of like, yeah, you do a keck, where you're like, oh, I get it. The one of the researchers is, really skinny, and his companion, the quest giver, is the burly one, so like he needs help lifting these heavy crates. But like I said, it was literally over in like less than, I think, like 2 minutes of work, so it's not really a time issue for me personally.
Also, I do think, like, some of the quests are designed to send you places. Like, I started an all character, Drifting Snow, also an ultra, so we get for our second free company. In the process of doing, like, a lot of the little do nothing quests, I found out that it was actually leading me around, like, a lot of places. Like, when you do them in the city states, all those little nothing quests that really don't mean it usually take you by aetherites and other important locations like class givers and other such things. And I do believe that design has persisted a lot through AAR. There's not aether currents or stuff in there, but usually the quests will send you into areas where you can find important things, like other quests, show you how to navigate certain areas. and whatnot. So I do think that like side quests are important because like not only does it give you insight into the culture, but also helps you get a lay of the land and how you can reach places. Like especially in AAR. Like I said, I have done this hot and fresh in doing stuff. I've done this in Ul'dah, Gridania, and Limsa Lamensa. Like, especially in Limsa Lamensa, where you're like running from like the Av Castle, you run to the Culinarian Guild, you run by the Marauders Guild, you go to the Fisherman's Guild, you even go to where the Rogues Guild is located. You don't actually go inside, but they send you by with a delivery just so you can get there. It's like that,
that's very fair because I have 1,200 hours in this game. I still get lost, and if I have to freeball it in Limsa, I still get lost.
So again, like I know this is me beating this dead horse here, but I still think people give side quests way too much.
Oh, and like I said, I want to say if people are like, "Oh, I never do side quests," I'm like, well, you should like look at them. Like I don't mind like eyeballing some of the side quests to see what's up. And like recently I did like all the ones in Old Charlian, and it was definitely like I don't think I needed it. Because, like, just the natural process of, like, hey, where are all the Aetherites in this town, right? Like, the way the mechanical systems work, I already had a pretty good grasp of where everything is. But it is definitely one of those things where, like, now that I'm thinking back on it, I'm like, yeah, no, those definitely had little moments of, like, if I did them alongside doing my Aetherites, I could probably have, like, spent half an hour, I think it took me to do all of them that were hanging around Old Charlian, and, like, gotten a decent chunk of EXP on top of getting all my Aetherites done. Normally when I'm in a new city, I'm on stream, so, like, I don't know how much, like, the general audience is gonna be interested in, you know, me doing some of those small quests. You might have a chuckle, like, about the one I did in Old Charlian, where there's just a letter with ash on it lying next to a building that you pick up, and it's just like, hey, if you find this letter, please take this to my friend the Mikote, who always stands in this one spot, and you go to that guy, and he's like, oh, yes, you have a letter for me? I'm well known for standing in this spot, so people could just find me here. Oh, it's my dumbass friend who got put in fucking Studium baby jail for blowing some stuff up. What does the letter say? Bring me food and a candle. Okay, I'll get him some food. Can you go bring him a candle? You know, like, again, just, like, you do learn a little bit of fact that, yes, the Charlians do have baby jail for Studium members who are, what was the phrase he used? Disruptive, I think. You know, and you learn, like, an old legend about how, like, the reason why he wants a candle is because some guy got put in the student cell block and, like, scribbled his magical formula on the walls with the burnt ends of his candle, and so the teachers were, like, too fascinated by knowledge to be upset, which lets you know how the Charlians roll. They don't care that much about discipline when, you know, knowledge could be had. But, you know, you also have to, like, talk to a certain merchant and stuff. It is interesting to see how they kind of, like, layer this game design, but also it's, like, you know, some of it's just, like, run down here, run back here.
Like, also, like, in the later fields, I think you, like, noticed this. In the later fields, usually side quests or, like, natural quest branch will usually run you by the Aetherite currents.
Yes, especially when you've got the bigger amount of them, is, like, those are much more far-flung, but they are usually in places that, if not MSQ will take you by, a little side quest detour will take you near an Aether Current or a Fate. You know, I think a lot of, like, Fate spawn areas are near Aether Current zones. It's usually faster when you've got access to the whole map to just use your compass and fucking hunt them down, you know? Or it's also literally easier if the internet has a map, but I didn't actually use the maps that much for a lot of the Endwalker ones. I just, like I said, I just fucking brought up my compass and wiggled. You know, once you have access to the whole map and all the Aetherites in it, you can usually just, you know, do some fucking triangulation, and it doesn't take any time at all. But yeah, it's definitely the kind of thing where you keep an eye out. They do a lot with zone design. I think there's positives and negatives. I've heard some people complain about, like, you know, the fact that they account for flying in the way maps are, so, like, some of them are really, you know, stretched out or have, like, weird breaks. But also, I think, like, even then, you gotta, even if without flying, you gotta account for the fact that people are gonna, like, run everywhere. It's like I'm just hovering over Labyrinthos right now because I've done all the like 80-ish level quests and so need to go to a new zone because the ones down in the... Actually, no, that's right, they level sync. What level are the mobs in the second ring? Will they kick my ass if I go outside? Let me go check. That's right. Everything after Shadowbringer's level sync, so I don't need to worry much about that part. It's will the mobs beat me up? Yeah, these guys are like level 88. No, we'll go to a different zone first. I'm scared. I've gotten my ass beat doing like level synced fates alone for some of the, like doing shared fates. So I know better than to just pick on mobs 5 levels higher than me. But like, Labyrinthos, right, is a pretty big zone. It's divided into 3 rings because you leave and come back 3 times as the story progresses. It's just naturally part of it. Yes, when you can fly, it's a lot easier to handle the fact that there are 3 fucking rings, which only, like, semi have elevators, because there's, like, technically the outer ring is, like, the outermost ring, and then you go down through some tunnels. Mm-hmm. And yes, I admit that there were times when I was like, God, getting around in this place is a pain. But it's still very natural. It's broken up into 3 levels, and of course you can't access everything, because Charlie doesn't trust your ass when you start Endwalker, so they're like, no, you can't use our secret elevator. Go away. And you're like, okay, fine, I will go away. I'll go to Thavnir.
This is why I strongly press people to get their 6 fate done to get their writing map so they can move just a bit faster.
Yeah, I'll definitely be doing that in this one, because we
I will say, like,
we did some some shared fate farming ahead of time, so I have a good cache of bicolor gemstones.
But no, I will say, like, the mount speed when you're just not is so slow, and you really do need that mining rep so you feel like you're getting progress. I'm cheating. I have the SDS bike from the online store, which automatically starts with +1 mount speed, so I can literally like pass people on the road as they're riding. I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, and there's lots of little stuff like that people probably don't realize. Like, a lot of people probably don't even think about that mount because it is in the cash shop, but, like, it's got a little benefit, Yep.
Loth has seen the corn servant. Excellent. Sorry.
That's fine, we're working. It's funny, I, like, somebody posted their, like, plans to, like, power level the new classes on the first day, and I'm like, that seems pretty neat. I'll jot that down. The main problem with that plan is queues.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, all right, do Tower of Zot 3 times, do Tower of Babel 3 times, and I'm like, I can't get 1 fucking queue for that. I'm technically queued for Tower of Babel, the 83 dungeon, right now. I've been waiting for 26 minutes for this queue. My wait time is more than 30 minutes. I am literally there's not even a second DPS waiting in this queue with me. Like, I'm literally waiting alone.
Once we get done with this, maybe we can party up for some dungeon runs. Like,
yeah.
I just need XP just to get up to 100, so I don't care.
And and that's, I want XP to get to 90. Because, like, especially because I do have the early access, if possible, I'm not going to commit that I'm going to make it all the way 7 more levels in 12-ish hours? More like, not quite 24, but you know what I mean, chat. Like, before tomorrow, because, like, we don't usually do anything on Saturdays channel-wise. I could, because we skipped 14 this week. We streamed Helldivers instead. Go check that out. It was very fun. We blew up some stuff. Sometimes that stuff was us. We killed some bugs. But I wouldn't mind doing, like, a Saturday special stream to, like, show people Dawntrail while it's in early access, and also make sure that I'm, not necessarily getting ahead of, but keeping caught up with my friends who are doing some of the MSQ in the new areas.
I am doing it slowly as I run to another fate so I can hit level 92.
But yeah,
bye everybody!
Because, and like, I'm going to have to do some of my fate grind myself, but I got to do MSQ to get to the new areas, so it's one of those things of, like, I don't want to, do that off-stream, because at least part of the conceit why I stream MSQ of 14 is so that people can, like, hear my initial, hopefully unspoiled reactions, off the cuff. I don't know how much of a conceit it is, but it is a conceit. It's why I started streaming it, and now I don't have to stream 14 to play it, because I've
1 second, Omega. We have a question. If you want to exchange both your tombstones and your scripts, you need to go to Mordona. I believe it's the 3 vendors. They're kind of famous.
It's the middle lady. I don't remember her name, but she's Servant of the House of Splendors, I think is her subtitle.
I believe so. But yes, you can exchange your causality and comedy for poetics there. And if you go to the tent to the left, you can exchange your scripts.
Yes, you can,
because those are now obsolete.
And I believe for tombstones anyway, it's about like a 2-for-1 rate.
I believe so, yes.
It's still like a decent amount. And now the 660 gear is just poetics, so you can just buy it from a lady standing in Old Trillian.
Yep.
There we go. Oh, I've done almost every... Just one more quest in Yelimand left. And I can go see what the guys of the Great Work are doing.
Great work.
Probably a lot of alchemy. That's funny. That's actually, I think, if we don't have any more 14 stuff to yell.
No, I think we're good. We talk about rain. We're going to talk about sorcery.
Yeah, it was a great one.
Yeah, no, but I did mention this. Omega has been working on more rain stuff. Most specifically, he knocked out the sorceries. Did you get done with all of them?
No, we still got a couple left. I had to take a break yesterday. That's when we were playing Helldivers.
I know you still got Veilcraft and Summoncraft, right?
Yeah, there's 2 left.
Yeah.
But I've gotten through a majority of their like simplest forms, and it's a real easy thing that still gets in there.
Yeah, no, I was actually surprised how quickly you started hammering things out, because I keep looking at the sorcery, I'm like, oh, there's options. And unlike in Wild Talents, it seems like you can be much more vague with things, and it seems like it's a little more loosey-goosey. But once you started going, like hammering out, what was the first one? Brain.
Alchemia.
Alchemia, yes, excuse me. Alchemia, and just being like, yes, you can make orichalcum, you can make adamant, you can make like a whole bunch of stuff. I can't remember all the things, but and just knock it out. And then you just immediately went into anima, and then from anima into dragon sorcery. I think after dragon sorcery was soulcraft. No, it was it was because then after soulcraft was
Stoneheart.
Stoneheart. Yeah,
it's all alphabetical. I mean, the dragon sorcery was kind of a cop out because I only did the 4 spells that are not attunement. Because as I told Axe when he asked about it, I was like, "Oh, I have the fluff description of the school talks about stuff you can do, armor yourself like a dragon, breathe fire, maybe even fly and stuff." FC Chat is currently starting a conspiracy to do more roulettes.
Yep,
this is a good one. This is a double up. Oh shit! It's because I've been waiting for my fucking duty pop so long. My food buff has run out. Time to eat more of these chocolates Loth gave me.
Loftlets.
But so the fluff description talks about it, but the odds that you'll run into a dragon sorcerer anytime soon, very low. And the odds that you'll take any dragon sorcerer are also pretty low, because it's gonna require a lot of attunement to get in there. And unless somebody can find a piece of text that says you can have attunement to more than one kind of sorcery, I'm pretty sure the idea is you can only be attuned to one school of sorcery at a time ever. Or at least purchase the advantage that way. So I know Axe is like, ooh, can I double dip and be a dragon sorcerer too? I'm like, probably not, because you invented at least, the initial concept for this school of sense sorcery and wanted to go all in on that. And I'm fairly certain the intent of the game is you can't go all in on every type of magic. Now, there are some open-ended. The way I've written and the way we discussed, because I've talked about some stuff with you guys. When I wrote the fluff package for alchemy, I was like, so how many elements do you guys want in your elemental system? Stuff like that.
There was some discussion about that, too.
Yeah, there was some back and forth. Man, these guys hurt. Oh, it's 'cause there's 2 of them. Chocobo, come out. Come out and heal me, Chocobo. But we put in the time, but alchemy is a school that has almost no attunement spells. I wrote 1. And I have some ideas for a couple more. I think there should be 1 internal alchemy spell that is just regeneration, just heal yourself. You can't use it to heal others, but it heals you really good. Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe some other ones. But generally, alchemy is something that's it's a type of sorcery that just requires a lot of book learning, practice, and a lot of materials gathering. So hypothetically, any of you, if you want to spend the points to get the, prerequisite knowledge and the sorcery pool, can be yes, I would like to start brewing healing potions and fire grenades.
Well, shit, now that you said that, I do want, now I want the secrets of orichalcum and adamant. How dare you, Omega?
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to have a couple of alchemy dabblers, so you might not need to learn that spell yourself. You'll just need to, like, ask Nicola or Leslock to be like, hey, can you make me some adamant real quick? I want to try some shit.
I'm going to make super swords.
Because this is explicitly pointed in the spell. I'm like, hey, even if you make a pile of adamant, you still need to make a crafting roll to turn it into something. Like, and that's part of the balance of, like, putting in minuses in there. And you are right that it is more loosey-goosey. Like, simple, straightforward stuff like do damage, you know, summon summon threat worth of followers. Very easy to do in the system. A lot of times for more nebulous stuff, I've had to be like, okay, so this is a more narrative type effect. Is this significant or major?
Yeah, no, that's where I'm like, what level of effect am I talking here?
Yeah, and this is why when you asked earlier, like, hey, can I still design my own spells? I'm like, yeah, just run them by me and, like, let me double-check your math in case, because they're very wiggly.
No, they are very wiggly. Because Enos is going to be an enchanter, and one of the things is enchanting items. And I did notice you did have a couple specific ones, like Logi Torchbearer's, 7 League Boots?
Yes. I did that because I have at least one NPC in mind. I'd like to have the 7 League Boots because it's funny. But yes, no, I was like, I think it's in the description of there's a generic Awaken an Object spell, which just permanently that item, whenever you use it, gives you +1d to rolls to use it.
Yeah.
Which is cool for, like, swords and hammers. Doesn't really do anything for, like, your pants. This was a discussion we had. What role requires you to have a blanket? You can awaken a blanket. What does this do anything? But in that spell description, it's like, by the way, this is the generic feature. There may be specific spells that teach specific items to do things. Like, there are temporary buffs like Heart-Seeking Blade and Soul-Seeking Arrow to, like, get combat buffs temporarily. Mm-hmm. Which I really like the flavor of. Like, Soul-Seeking Arrow is very funny to me. You basically tell a bullet or a knife or an arrow, hey, arrow, fuck that guy's shit up. Mr. Arrow, lightning this man, and you get a master die.
No, like, because I've been wondering about that stuff. Like, I've been trying to consider, with enchanting, like, how crazy can I do? Can I make a sword burst in the flames? Probably not, but can I make a sword more likely to defend its owner? Maybe. And so, I've been doing a lot of that thinking because, unfortunately, Lucky has the problem that he gets smitten with girls way too easily, and now I want to give them gifts in swords and jewels made with my own hand, and now I'm gonna think I gotta make them as special as fucking possible. Good job, Lucky. You created this problem yourself.
Also, I appreciate that, X. Pants of running, pants of endurance. That's more for shoes, I think, for running, and that's what the 7 League Boots do. You get a master die and run.
Honestly, if for, like, actual clothing, I would actually probably say, like, endurance.
Yeah, endurance rolls to, like, resist environmental effects, because I think you usually roll, like, endurance or vigor to not, like, die from exposure.
Maybe, like, clothes of, like, Fascinate or Inspire.
Yeah, that could work, too. This is another thing that, like, comes into that math, because the game literally is like, okay, if you're adding a die to a rare skill, +1d to a rare skill, free. It's 0 points. 0 extra cost. Mm-hmm. A common skill is, like, 2. Sorry, I smacked my mic arm with my elbow. If you want to put a master die in a frequent skill, that's like +5 cost. But if it's a rare skill, it's only like +2.
Well, what qualifies a rare skill? That's the other thing.
I mean, they have some comments on it, but I think it's something that, like, will it come up frequently? Like, I think a lot of, like, students and maybe even experts may count as rare skills. It's not, like, in the normal skill list in the book, but I remembered that taste, touch, and smell is on the character sheet in the back of the book. So I counted Master Die in that as a rare skill for one of the rune spells. Wolf's Moon Rune gives you a Master Die in that for a couple hours, I think. I mean, Comrade, you've talked about this. Comrade might still learn Stoneheart Sorcery if it comes up. That one was very fun to design because I got to, like, talk about lots of interesting, like, names of runes, like Boarhide Rune, Bear's Fury Rune. But that one is a lot of, like, because it's based in body, it's a lot of, like, either combat effects or protection effects. There's a couple of utility, like there's Gift of the Gab to make yourself better at charm, only while speaking. Writing doesn't count. But a lot of them are like, literally 2 of the spells are, you create a circle of runestones for protection, which, by the way, I straight up stole from one of the pre-built sorceries in one of the Splat books. But it's a good spell. It's just like, you create a circle of runes. While you're inside this circle, which is about 5 feet across, you get armor against sorcery and magic, supernatural attacks. Circle of protection.
Let's go, baby.
One of my favorite runes to design, just from a narrative standpoint, was the Evil Bane rune. If you apply it to a weapon, and you can apply it to your fists, but only if you're attuned. Only if you've covered your body in magical runes. But it gives you +1d to attack Monstrum, ignores all armor the Monstrum have, and if your weapon does shock damage, you do killing. If you already do killing damage, it's just +1 killing. But again, it's only versus monsters, so it doesn't do jack shit against people. doesn't, do anything against kindred, and doesn't do anything against normal animals. But you want to fight some evil monsters? Here you go, Monster Slaying Rune.
Axe, if you would take my advice, wait till Omega's actually written the Veilcraft section, and then see what gaps you still have, then start worrying about what you need to make.
Yeah, sensory interference is more glamour than Veilcraft, but there might be some room for that if I can figure out how it makes sense in the way the spells work. Like, Lucky, you were very happy with the fact that I put a straight up curse in Soulcraft, but I was like,
oh yes,
fluff-wise, that was pretty easy to design. Soulcraft was taught by the goddess of the underworld, and is supposed to, connect to people's souls. When I wrote the alchemy fluff, it was so soul, body, and mind are all linked. So even if, that means if you affect the soul, you affect the body. So Dread Curse of Dea Tacita is just, that guy, you can see and hear, he can hear you. You just chew him out in deep speak, and he takes, a -1 to coordination and body for a few minutes, which in combat terms is very spicy. That'll last several combat rounds, if not more. So, depending on how the fluff for spells comes out, I could see, maybe a temporary -1 to sense, being in, Veilcraft. Axe, I hope you're ready to purchase lots of useful herbs and random bits and bobs. You're going to need a lot of sticks, or you may need to commission a full-length mirror. Because that's a really easy way to add, -1 or -2 to a spell. This is why some alchemy spells are so cheap, is because they take hours to cast, and they require materials. But, like I said, I've applied that rule kind of generously. I think I applied the -1 for simple prep to a lot of Soulcraft spells that are enchant an object. Hey, guess what? You can't do Heart-Seeking Blade if you don't have a blade. So it's worth the -1, because if I didn't specify it, some people would be like, hey, can I Heart-Seeking Blade this stick I found? And I'm like, no, that's not a blade. So, yes, it does have specific materials it needs. They're simple. Most people can probably find a knife.
Oh, I also like the oath one you said, the gaze, where you have to both people clasp an iron dagger and make an oath. Oh, no, I loved it.
Well, hey, guess what? Added duty is very expensive. It's +5, and I wanted to make it last years. That's also expensive. So I had to add some extra fluff in there. So I think I gave it the -1 for simple prep of hey, you need to clasp hands over an iron knife. But that lets me do fun, talking about almost the side quest methodology there. That lets me build in fun fluff in there. Hey, you understand that if anybody breaks their oath to you, the knife you swore that oath by, it shatters. It's toast. So no,
I love it.
Yeah, Veilcraft's gonna have some of those funny ones too. If you want to do certain kinds of distance scrying or communication, it'll probably be so you're gonna need a pool of water, a crystal ball, or a mirror. But then you gaze through this thing.
Oh, the Iron Dagger thing is a blood oath. Yeah, it does damage to you.
Yes. Each person takes, I think, 1 or 2 killing. I think it might be 1 and 1.
I think it's 1 and 1.
If they break the oath, the dagger shatters, and the person who broke the oath takes 2 killing somewhere, for sure. It's got some implications, and there's a few things back there. Soulcraft really, part of the reason why there's more Soulcraft spells than normal is, one, Lucky likes gear porn, and I also like gear porn, so, coming up with some of the funny item ones was interesting. But also, I didn't really get a chance to do a lot of the mental effects table. So I really got to try that out with Soulcraft. That's morale attacks, suppress a craving is fun, give a craving, temporarily give a mission kind of stuff.
I like to give a mission one because you actually specify that if I, me, because I'm probably going to be a chanter, give a mission to a PC and they complete it, in the thing, that they still get the bonus XP. Which I find amusing.
It counts as a mission.
Yeah. And if they're pursuing that mission in the first place, they still get that +1 die for anything related to it. So I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah, compulsion I think is only hours or days, but the idea is basically you just because a mission is explicitly something with a concrete goal. It's kind of like your, charm person or compel type spell where it's just hey, you, do this thing for me. And then afterward, they might, realize that you charmed them to do it. But they'll act accordingly while they're under it. And like I said, for PCs, it just made sense to specify, they get the EXP if they complete it. I am lost underwater right now. Are these like above
Yeah,
me?
well, I don't think the compulsions don't last that long. I think it lasts in like what, days?
Yeah, it's days or hours. It's like it's short term, but it works for missions. Like I said, the one to add a duty is like years, but is a lot more elaborate. I think the one for craving is days. That one I had to put some extra sauce on though, because add a craving is also like expensive.
Also scary. It's the dark arts.
Well, yeah, and I think it made sense because I was like, so like most cravings are vices or like otherwise, there's some reason why people can't. They're a craving, right, and not just something people can do all the time. So giving them to a person is kind of like going against the nature of the sorcery. So you take a shock damage everywhere. It hurts. There's backlash.
Tacita does not approve. Suffer for your hubris.
But I did want to make sure that it was at least an option because, like I said, I got to play around with the mental checklist. It's a lot of fun. You've already said you're interested in a couple of them. Like you were like, oh, Terrify seems neat. I'm like, yeah.
Oh yeah, like unlike like other ones, there's like I think there's only like one like actually direct damage, which it's spicy. It's hella spicy. You can punch someone's soul out.
Yeah, no. I was like, I don't think Soulcraft is gonna have a lot of direct attacks, but the idea of like, well, it's about the soul. So if you punch the soul out of the body, then they die, right?
Man.
Also, it was literally, I saw in the options for damage, one of them is for +7 cost. It's fills all locations with killing damage, and I'm just like, how could I make that work? Well, what if you just death touch somebody?
Man, I'm like, I wonder how that feels visually. Did they just like crumple?
They probably, they just fall over stone dead. Because I'm pretty sure unless you magically intervene like in the same round, if your head and chest are filled with killing, you're just dead.
I thought if just head was filled with killing, you're dead.
Well, yeah. If your chest is filled with killing, you may also be straight up dead. But
can't you defer damage down to your chest or something, or was that something?
You might be able to do that. We'll have to double check the damage rules. It hasn't come up because, like I said earlier, we've been dodging straight up combat, and I think all of you have succeeded in roles where we were contesting combat damage. I think there was like one time in the wrestle, I was like, okay, some of you straight up failed the roll, and I should like do some shock damage to you, but you're going to heal it right away, and I don't want to interrupt the flow. Yeah. Also, I'm like, people can't see my screen right now. I'm literally lost underwater. I'm like in a circle to retrieve goods underwater, and I'm just like going around in circles. I do not see this shit I'm supposed to grab anymore. I grabbed like 3 of them. There's 2 left. They are fucking not here. It's in Thavnir, so I'm just out off the shore. Are they like hidden in some of these kelp forests?
It might be.
I mean, I'm talking, so I'm not like doing a professional grid level search right now, but it is funny to me that I'm just swimming in circles. I did joke with the quest giver who was like, I lost some shit in the water. Can you get it for me? One of the dialogue options was, time to practice my patented underwater breathing technique. And they were like, you can do that? I'm like, yeah, I can breathe underwater.
Ark says the 2 you might be looking for might be on the surface.
Or are some of them on the surface? Okay, I'll check the top level. Oh, actually, yeah, I see one of the crates projecting a shadow now. Thank you for the tip. I was wondering about that, but I was, like I said, I was talking, so I was just fucking swimming in circles. Okay.
For a box chart, I'm not gonna actually do boxes because boxes on the character sheets are supposed to actually be filled in with like pencil. I'm just gonna write down my locations and just put
S
I'm just
or
gonna
K.
do S or K number out of a number. So I'll have like head parentheses 4 and then with a dash, and then I'll be like 1 killing 2 shock and stuff.
And technically, much like wound bubbles in or wound boxes in like White Wolf, you are supposed to actually like differentiate shock and killing differently. So just having a note in your sheet like S and K.
Yeah. But so sorcery's coming along. I'm very excited. Again, though, that's gonna be a lot of XP. God,
I was pleasantly surprised that I can make most of them like 5 or less, but it's still like a spell is probably going to be like a session's worth of EXP or a couple of spells.
Yeah, but it's like because in Rain next session will probably be last in the prologue. We're on the 4th night, about to go into the 5th day. We have been trying to not necessarily bog things down with roleplay. It still gets out there. Like, I know for me personally, I definitely decided to cut some roleplay so we can get more stuff in. But sometimes the people, they want to speak. But we only have the 5th day left, and whatever's going to happen after that, we might get bogged down a little bit with the ice cream social and the royal feast. Don't know what's going to happen there. Axe is like, you can just give us more XP. I'm like,
I mean, I can give you a little bit of EXP, but, the problem is that not all of you are going to be sorcerers. So, that means that other people have to come up with stuff to spend EXP on, which means they're going to be buying advantages or skills or whatever.
Clearly, I need to cast the compulsion on myself. I'll just look in a mirror and be like, you can do this, Enos. Just start farming XP that way. Enos, go do 100 push-ups. Alright, I'm gonna start making endurance rolls. Let's go. No, I'm not gonna actually do that. I have been, like I said, but speaking of those things, I have been, like I said, I have been wondering, what am I gonna do time skip? Because, this is something we've been talking about in the, play of, emergent play and whatnot. Like, how you start your character is not necessarily how you want your character ends. I've been running into a bit of that with myself as I have been playing. Because Enos as a character definitely has some concrete goals and vibes and stuff, but usually how you reach such vibes is differing. Like, I expected Enos to be much more of a calculating economic man, or lad in this case, he is still a teenager. And that really hasn't come up in play, and yet I find myself more attracted to doing culture and the arts and actually talking to people. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't want to assume, but I'm going to assume that I think I'm, like, one of the most excited about all the other allied tribes. Like, I want to go see the Giantkin, I want to go talk to the Kith, I want to see the Merfolk, the Harpies. I'm a little leery about the Fae, but that's because we're kind of diametrically opposed as the Iron Demons. Give them some stink eye. If we can meet a dragon, that'd be pretty rad. Can I give it a high five? Can I seduce it?
Magic 8 Ball says, answer unclear, ask again later.
But, so I was thinking about, yes, maybe I should be more of a classic bard than... You actually wrote it down in the esoteric discipline for the hearing thing related to the bards training of what a classical bard actually was, about, a student of heraldry and genealogy, good with song, good with language, and all that stuff. And I was all like, maybe I should be more of a classic bard. But then I was like, kind of rolling back and forth, because the best way to become a linguist is to take 2 advantages, language genius and linguist, which is really good for if you want to learn additional language. But I had previously chewed out X for wanting to do that, and I didn't want to be a hypocrite. Because earlier Axe wanted to do that, but Axe also wanted to do the thing where he just gets free XP every session. So to me personally, it had a vibe that Axe was just trying to farm as much free XP as possible.
Axe does like things that give free XP, but that's because he is... I won't say it's quite the same as you, but like Axe definitely gets in those notes of like, oh, I have several different things I want to like focus my character on. How am I going to make enough EXP to get all of these things, sometime this decade? Which is a fair question.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it's a hyperfixation thing, which is,
mm-hmm.
hymns. But it's definitely like he will go for the drill down, okay, how do I get this as fast as possible? Because I don't want to worry about it. Because I think, if you'll assume, I sorry, that's actually it. You made me chuckle, Axe. There you go. You got one. We can take linguists together like ibuprofen. But like, I think it's because him looking at his like cost benefit analysis sheet of like how much EXP he needs versus how much he has stresses him out. So he tries to just like straight line go to eliminating that. Whereas you, I think, get stressed out about the options anyway, but not about how you're going to get there as much.
Oh, no, I suffer from choice paralysis. Hella choice paralysis.
Yeah.
I look at my character and, like, I'm trying to figure out, okay, what do I actually want to pick up now? Because I'm one of those people, I guess the best way to say it's like, I don't necessarily care about the end. I usually care more about the process of getting there. So I know what my end goals are gonna get, and I'll get there when I get there, but, like, I want to enjoy the journey. So I want to, like, get my ducks in a row. And that's why I've been looking at Enos being like, okay, I'm probably going to give up this economic stuff, double down on arts and cultures, and pick up language, but I also want to be a goldsmith, because I want to fuck with jewelries. Like, I wasn't sure about this, but no, the, Enos really liking jewelry actually has come up in play. Like, he likes to look at people's eyes and reference them as certain jewels. I think I asked people several times in the last session what color their eyes was, so I can make a jewel reference. So I think no, that Goldsmith will probably still be in play. But then I met Reyes Ghouls, who I want to give a sword. I want to give a really sexy sword, but I want to make the sword myself and like make it like super fucking special. And I'm like, that means I'm gonna need blacksmith, but Aaron's gonna be a blacksmith. But I think we might be different blacksmiths because I'm gonna focus on things like daggers, rapiers, small items for like fencing and stuff. Or I'm pretty sure Conrad might make things like axes, spears, armor. I don't know how many like little daggers he's gonna make.
Great swords. Swords of great.
Yeah, swords of great. So it's like there's there, and then like Omega's coming out with the sorcery, and I'm all like, oh shit, I want that. You can't see me. I just DiCaprio pointed at my fucking computer, and I have to get we're rolling dice. I don't want to fucking roll dice if I don't have to. I can buy the Flawless Attunement for 5 points. I'm like, I'm just gonna probably do that and pick up sorcery on its own, and then the spells. So I'm just all like, what do I want?
Yeah, at least the beauty is if you can find the 5 points to buy the Flawless Attunement. It's I found some actual examples of the way the advantage works. Almost all of them come with like positives and negatives, because it's supernatural. So, and hey, you're an Iron Demon, so you're already under the negative effects of being dog shit at swimming.
Yeah, but it compounds. Like, I wasn't sure if I was going to bring this, so I'll just bring it here. And it's like, I was looking at the Flawless Attunement, I was like, man, that doesn't actually do much for the Iron Demons. It makes something like a lot worse. Because the way that Omega wrote the Flawless Attunement usually comes with a couple benefits and a negative. For Iron Demons, it gives them, all Iron Demons basically get the Dark Adapted ability. So basically in darkness, we take no penalties to direction, sight, and...
Yeah, you don't get any difficulty for low light.
And one of the penalties is we can never get more than 2D in swimming, like ever. I mean, 2 in the skill. Excuse me. We can have as much body as we want, and then when you get the Flawless Attunement, you get +1 command, the dark side ability again, and then you also take you get a difficulty if you are drowning, specifically if drowning. So if you're like underwater, blub, you're trying to make a roll to save yourself.
Yeah, I actually, because this came out when I was doing skills. Technically, that's already in the Iron Demon section. I did add a note, because swim is a skill. It's in, like, some NPC blocks and some examples. When talking about drowning, it says, like, if you're in water and want to get out of it, normally you roll body plus athletics. And then it says you would have a flat difficulty. So I kind of, like, wombo comboed the both. If you want to buy specific dice in swim, that's bad. You're not going to buy a lot of dice in swim. But also, if you're, like, trying to avoid drowning, you have, like, a flat difficulty 5 in water anyway.
Okay, so it's not as bad as one. But still, even as an Iron Demon, I'm already bad with water. I'm already dog step. The best I get is +1 command, which is technically fine, because that's a free point. A stat point is... a stat point increase is 5 XP right there. So technically I'm buying a stat and I have the Flawless Attunement. So it is. But it's still just a little weird that Iron Demons do not necessarily quite get as much out of the Flawless Attunement as the men do. So it's like, it's one of those things that just like, I'm probably gonna do it. But it's one of those things. So again, it's one of those things of like, do I buy it now? I'm probably gonna buy it now. Even if I only get like a couple points in sorcery, I'm probably gonna get it now and just not have any spells. I don't know how long we're gonna be playing Rain, but I feel like it's gonna be a bit.
Probably.
But no, I'm super excited. I have several girls I want to woo and or seduce. Some of them at the same time. I don't know how that's gonna work. Might have to fight Conrad over. Let me check my notes here.
Conrad seems to have taken an interest in Rena Martlet.
Yeah, Rena Martlet. But she's also part of Reyes Ghouls' girl posse, along with Senna Alphen. And I'm like, that seems neat. Can I get a hat trick? So, like I said, yes, is Lucky being completely horny on Mania? Yes, I am. But...
Well, this is a pretty consistent through line. But it is almost midnight. How long are we recording? 2.5 hours.
Got talking about...
wind in the show. We like... Thank you, Robin. We like Rain, in case you couldn't tell from, like, the time we talked about it in the middle of Mailbag, and also the time we talked about it again after the Mailbag.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing goo. We're having fun, but I could use a drink and a snack, I think, and we've got some people who want to do some dailies and stuff, so I could probably wind it in. Hey, if you want to hear more Rain talk, well, one, listen to Monday streams. Usually those are done, the day after Rain, so we get some stuff in. This Monday we will be aiming to stream Sly Cooper and the Thieves Raccoonus on the PS5. So won't that be fun? But also you can listen to the APs. Those get released when they get uploaded. Yeah, there's a lot of detail. We're working, and I like to consult these guys because we did have a big long session 0 and kind of like talk through everything. So far I think most everything's gone in. You mentioned it earlier, Lucky, but like I think you are one of the most excited people every time I wrote a new allied tribe. I know Aaron makes sure to read all the material, but I don't know how excited he was about everybody.
Well, yeah, but that's why I kind of want to position myself as the linguist to the allied tribe specifically. Like I was talking about, I asked you if student of the allied tribes is a valid school, and you're like, yeah, that's specific enough.
Yeah, that's specific enough. I mean, you're basically like trying to invent anthropology when these guys wouldn't have the field of anthropology. We're like pre-industrial revolution. So yeah, no, student of the allied tribe seems like a good way to phrase it.
Yeah, and go and understand the allied tribes because we're all kind of different, and might be a little outnumbered by men. There's a lot of you guys out there. A lot.
It's true.
Not so much
Though,
of
admittedly, dudes are, at least in some respects, not as great off as some. Some of you get some extra stees. And to be fair, I don't think we know how many mer there are. They live under the sea.
It's true. There could be fucking millions of them just waiting to rise from the oceans, trying to name their great old one. But no, again, this is one of those things. Like, as I actually found it like very interesting. It was so weird. I don't know why this happened exactly, but we're talking about emergent play. But in our first session, when Enos got into the carriage with the queen, Lady Logie, and the princess, like that whole moment was just kind of this weird goal setting thing. Like, because I wanted to get close to the princess, but I needed a reason to do it that just wasn't I'm thinking with my lower half. So I had to start coming up with the reasons why an Iron Demon want to get related to the royalty, which put me down a path of like, okay, so what do the Iron Demons probably need the most right now? And I was like, sovereignty. We need to be our own people, not necessarily under the yokes of men. Technically, we're not under the yoke of men because part of the agreement with the throne gods was, to treat the allied tribes, fairly. But as we discovered, that doesn't always work. I know what is their house? It starts with a V.
Vilter.
Vilter, the House of Vilter, who tried to run over the Iron Demons and steal their secrets. Only through the help of, House Logie and House Egg and the Iron Demons blowing up a fuck ton of volcanoes were we able to stop them. But that still leaves a mark on our history. So it's one of those things of like, we need to be able to make sure we protect ourselves. And from there, it just kind of ballooned into, okay, that means I need to gather allies and like-minded people and maybe get people on my side. And then thinking about that led me to thinking about, I need to maybe do that for the allied tribes and expand it. So, no, me literally just seeing a princess and being like, I want to know more about her has literally developed my entire character arc and focus right here. And I think I'm doing it very well right now in my scheming. But it's also just one of those things about emergent play that happens. It's just the littlest thing that just snowballs out of control. And that's how I've been like this entire reign. It's just like the littlest things. Like meeting Nocta Luke that floored me. How dare you, Omega? How dare you put the girlfriend in there? Ray's Gould also was like, Ray's Gould wasn't as strong as an impact, but then we got to sexual fencing. I'm like, how dare. It wasn't actually sexual fencing. I'm using that term because it amuses me.
Yes, the fencing was actually very mundane, because you didn't know jack shit about fencing, so she was mostly just getting you. But, I did mention that there's lots of handsiness in it. But yeah, it's a fun time. That's the emergent play. I think every character's got a little bit of that. Dude, you don't need to up your dating game. You went on a date last session. Literally.
Yeah, you went with the fourth. Was she fifth in line to the crown?
Yeah, she's the 5th ranked princess, because she's 5th in line.
Technically, you went on a date. You've got a more high profile date than Enos did.
Enos did double dance with the third ranked princess.
Yeah, but we actually, that's just, an intent to be close. I haven't actually had any private time with her.
True.
Oh no, you were totally awkward as fuck, my dude. The princess was totally leading that conversation. Nice save, though, with the compliment. That was good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just banged my elbow.
But yes.
But also, I do want to say this. Being awkward as fuck in a dating situation is not actually that weird. You're teenagers. We don't know what the fuck we're doing.
It is pretty normal.
Yeah.
Okay,
It really hurts. I haven't banged my funny bone in years.
Oh, no, not the funny bone.
It's the funny bone.
That one sucks. All right, but yeah, we've crossed the 2.5 hour mark. Let's wind this in. We have a lot of fun talking about Rain. In case you can't tell, like I said, I'd love for you to check it out. There's loads of hours involved. I think our average time is like, even with the one session that was short at only like 3 hours. Which, admittedly, when I edit out all the like pauses and the clunky sounds of us, breathing, coughing, and other background noise, it's not always Dallas, but a lot of it's Dallas. It's like 2.5 hours, compressed down, but still, like. The videos posted to YouTube are not audio edited down, so you kind of hear everything in the moment, and our average time has got to be like 4 hours. But yeah, we'll talk about that next time. I've realized that we've been recording for 2.5 hours, and technically this is the last show of the week. I should have done Fan Servant Friday, but Dawntrail Brain.
Shit, it is. Yeah, Dawntrail Brain.
We'll get it next time. That show I'm sure will be jam-packed with FGO stuff anyway, because it'll be like right before or at anniversary. We might have to think about like. No, we'd be recording Friday. That's like 2 days, I think, before they're having the panel. So we'd have a normal show. Well, we'll see how much time we jam in if everybody's ready. Anyway, I keep getting distracted. We like talking about Rain. We're gonna end. Sorry, that's me tapping my mic arm with my headset. We're gonna wrap up the show now. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Like I said, make sure to check out the Moon Day stream. And obviously keep your eyes peeled for any FF14 streams, which may or may not be happening.
Yeah.
At different times. There will be the regular one. I mean, it was America themed, so it'll kind of fit. It'll be, we'll do the show on the 5th. It'll be after July 4th. Womp womp. But keep your mind all out for that stuff. Fail Betrayal at the usual time as well. And we'll see you guys next week for more FGO. We should. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do because the anniversary pre-release ends the 4th. But that's like a Thursday, so like, will we get like a double dose of pre-release? Will we get something else to kill time? Like, will they start doing rank ups? I don't know. We'll see. And obviously, JP, keep your eyes peeled for more and more stuff going on as they continue to show off more stuff for FGO Fez as well. So keep your eyes open. I don't think we've gotten any like proper summer previews, but again, keep your eyes open. You never know when they'll sneak stuff in, and the festival is coming up. But everybody, happy summer vacation. We'll see you guys next week for more Let's Tech FGO. Don't forget to do the usual YouTube stuff of liking, commenting, and subscribing. Positive reinforcement is good. Consider supporting the channel via memberships. Also consider ringing the bell for notifications, when we post stuff. And like I said at the start of the show, consider supporting us on Patreon. Get the episode early in audio format. Get all our APs in audio format. And at our higher levels, you can watch videos like Wanted early, and you can listen to us record Let's Tech FGO live. You can join the Peanut Gallery. But I think that's all my spiel, so we'll be getting on out of here. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.